What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos, and welcome to a new episode of Take It to the Table. Yes. We have a jam-packed episode for y'all. This is probably heaving of content. But before we get into all that, let me introduce the usual guests here. To my left is none other than Big Man Rise. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey. Good to be back. Another episode. Let's do it.
Yes. And of course, to my right is none other than Mr. Rams. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, always can have me.
Yes. Like I said, we have a jam-packed episode today. We're gonna be obviously talking about the pay-per-views. It's been a very pay-per-view heavy month. Obviously we've had Super Showdown. That's gonna be quite a bit of handful to talk about. We're even gonna dabble on TakeOver Portland. We're also going to be talking about AEW Revolution. And also, as of this recording, Elimination Chamber is this Sunday. Yeah. So we're going to be laying down our predictions for that jam-packed pay-per-view. Everyone's very pumped up for it. So.
I don't even know what's going on in that.
No one knows what's going on. I don't even think that Vince knows what's going on right now. And we're going to start a little new game in this episode as well. We're going to be discussing storylines. We'll get more into that later on, so be sure to stick around for that. And of course, the usual Wrestler 20 questions to round off the show. As you saw in the anniversary episode, we didn't get a chance to dabble on that, but this time the power is still in my hands. And this one's going to be very interesting for these guys. I guarantee it. I'll make sure. I think I can make them stretch up to like at least question 18, 19 before they get it. Hopefully. But before
I'm playing, I'm good at this. So.
Okay, all right, fair. Let's hope so. But yes, without further ado, let's take it to the table. Right. Like I said, it's been a jam-packed month in terms of pay-per-views for both AEW and WWE. So we got three choices, guys. We can either start with Super Showdown, AEW Revolution, or TakeOver Portland. Actually, I think we'll leave TakeOver Portland last. Which one you want to start with? The
Revolution's fresh on my mind because I just watched it.
Right, AEW Revolution. All right, that's cool. Okay, we'll start from newest till least further back, wherever we want to call it. So yeah, AEW Revolution. In one word, what was your take on that pay-per-view? Good, yeah?
Very solid. Admittedly, I watched the highlights, but even from just highlights, really cool matches, man. Typical AEW fashion where it's back and forth. Everything down from the crowd reaction to commentary, the performances from the stars. I think the first match was, I was about to say Swagger. Jake Hager versus Dustin. Again, good match. It's cool that Hager got the win. He needs it more, especially as his first match. I don't know if I was too keen on the way he won. Like, it was just kind of like like a Brock Lesnar Hogan type of thing where, it's cool. That kind of saves Dustin as well. He didn't tap out or anything, but it's just...
He just passed out, right?
Considering how hyped the match was, and then you got that slow finish, but cool. Pac versus Orange Cassidy. I didn't even know that was going to happen. That was a fun match.
That was very fun.
And again, at first I was thinking, Pac must not be happy about this. I kind of had the whole him and Enzo thing, but it was totally different. He actually made it work. It was believable. Good match. Women's title match, again, cool. I think wasn't it Nyla Rose?
Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander, the Alien.
Yeah, she just came across as a beast. They sold her very, very well. I'm trying to think what else. The tag team match, Young Bucks and Hangman Page and Omega, excellent. I literally thought, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if the titles were going to be lost. I wasn't sure if Hangman was going to turn because I'd been seeing thumbnails and stuff, like spoilers and stuff. But yeah, excellent match. I wonder where they go from this because obviously there was a bit of disdain with Hangman and the Young Bucks. I don't know if they're just going to drop that now or if there's going to be more to it. Mm-hmm. What other matches am I missing?
MJF versus Cody.
Yeah.
Again, very good match.
For me, I feel like that match was overbooked though.
It had a lot going on with Arn and his wife and MJF's guy, but considering the build to the match and how it's one of the main events, I have nothing negative to say. Guerrero's match, who was he facing?
Oh, Darby Allin.
Yeah, Darby Allin.
Yes. Again, good match. There was an oversell at one point. That's what I saw, and I thought, I don't like that. It was a bit where Darby kind of flips around like from the back and then turns it into a stunner.
Oh yes.
And Guerrero just kind of like went down and then did a flip. I'm like, okay, it's a bit too much now. Like, chill. Like, that's not gravity. That doesn't work like that. But it was a cool match. I know I'm forgetting other matches. I know obviously the main event, but before that,
no, that was it. That was it. Obviously, if you want to count the pre-show.
Yes, I watched the pre-show. This is the first pre-show I actually watched, and it was Scorpio, Sky, and Kasabian. Is that it?
Kazarian, against the Dark Order. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No, I didn't see that, but that must have been good.
It was a basic tag team match.
I'm not really feeling the Dark Order yet. I'm still not fully sold on them. They have potential, like little promo packages and stuff.
I'm a Scorpio Sky mark,
well, here's the thing. Me too. But here's the thing, right? There was all this talk about Hardy's going to potentially be involved, but now they've announced Broken Matt Hardy's back. He's probably going to do his own thing, right?
It's a bit like, I'd be very surprised if they still keep it that it's going to be Matt Hardy right now. Yeah. I would kind of hope they switch it and it might be Luke Harper or Brody Lee.
Luke Harper would be amazing.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Would be great. Yeah.
It's too obvious for it to be Matt Hardy right now. If they still stick with that, I'd be kind of disappointed. But yeah, they said he's looking to bring back the Broken Matt Hardy thing. He doesn't really need the Dark Order.
No.
That would be cool if he just does his own thing. There's also someone else in this week's AEW Dynamite. Jake the Snake came back.
Yes.
And then he said he has someone that's coming from the dark side and all this kind of stuff. So to face Cody. So that could be a chance. We might see Matt Hardy versus Cody. I would not say no to that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm still as much as I'm on AEW now, I'm born and raised WWE. So like, it still would have been nice to see Matt do something big in WWE before departing or even staying maybe. But it is what it is. Back to Revolution with the main event, Jericho and Moxley again. Great heel work by Jericho, especially with Moxley not the underdog, but kind of being the broken winged pigeon in the match, so to speak, like with the eye thing and all that. It just worked going into the crowd. There was blood at one point, which kind of worked. I think Jericho shoved the ref, and the ref's a woman, so it was just like, whoa, it was cool. Am I happy that Moxley won? Definitely deserves it. It's definitely going to be a good champion. Could they have kept the title on Jericho and kept it going? Maybe. I think I think it's one of them situations where either or wouldn't have been a negative.
Yeah.
But, it worked. And now obviously Moxley being a champion doesn't necessarily mean Jericho's out of the picture. We're still probably going to have a feud with them, maybe a second title match, which builds Moxley up for his next opponent. So, nothing but good things to say.
They said partially the reason, because everyone was I would have hoped that he would have defeated Moxley and maybe keep it to the next pay-per-view and stuff. But some behind-the-scenes gossip, if you don't know, the reason that Jericho actually had to relinquish it soon because he has an upcoming tour coming up with Fozzy. But it's not until the summer. But they said instead of waiting to the next pay-per-view, so before people actually figure it out, okay, it's going on tour, that means he has to lose it. Make him lose it the pay-per-view prior, and then make them have the rematch close to when he goes on tour, and then you ain't going to see him on TV for a while.
Maybe you could write him out as well.
They are going to write,
an injury.
Yeah. So, but before I go into mine, but other than that, you thought it was a good pay-per-view?
Yeah, I'm actually, time and life kind of makes it hard to watch pay-per-views sometimes, but I'm annoyed that I didn't watch it in full. But even as highlights, I was very impressed. So, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Rams? What are your thoughts on this? Please, we're gonna make space for 10 minutes for his ones. I'm joking.
So for Revolution, I didn't have any bad points as such, but then mind you, I've kind of fallen off with AEW. Like I watch it here and there. It just kind of although there's so much variety of wrestling to watch, and I still find myself only watching WWE. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
But what's it called? But yeah, so I come onto the pay-per-view and stuff, and then it's like I watched the pre-show. I didn't realize that they literally treated this pre-show like a pre-show in terms of, so the first 45 minutes of the pre-show was literally all promos. Like, and there wasn't even anything of like backstage interviews or anything like that. It was just promotions for the matches. I think they call it the buy-in.
Yeah, the buy-in, yes.
So it was just all of that, and then it literally in the last 15 minutes, that was when there was a backstage interview where SCU was telling Christopher Daniels to stay backstage. Apparently, there's like, is he like?
It is because Dark Order wants Christopher Daniels to join, so people are saying that he could possibly be the exalted one that's looking to lead them. But that's why he said, I guess that's
they said they wanted him to stay backstage,
Yeah.
and then the match happened. I believe the Dark Order won.
Yes, they won.
And then what's it called? Yeah, then two other people made a save, or some people come out like.
Yeah.
Was it like?
It says Alex Reynolds and John Silver for Dark Order, right?
Yes, but then Christopher Daniels and then someone else came out.
Oh, I don't.
There was like Christopher Daniels and Colt Cabana. That's the one.
Oh, Colt Cabana. Yes. He's in AEW.
Colt Cabana. They came out to make the save, and then that's how the pre-show ended. And then on the actual show itself, I just watched like the entire pay-per-view. I let it run, and I saw all the matches. And yeah, I couldn't really kind of fault anything. I will say this. I will say that the women's title match felt very filler. Of the entire match card,
It was a weak
match. Yeah, out of all the matches, unfortunately, we don't like to say that, but yeah.
That was the weakest match on the card for me. I mean, I liked the tag team match, but then it was almost like, because like I say, I have fallen off AEW quite a little bit and whatnot. So when you're seeing like the Young Bucks kind of being heelish and they're being treated like heels by the crowd, but I was like, but I thought the Young Bucks were liked. So, and I like the Young Bucks. So I was a bit like, okay, so am I supposed to root for them? Am I not supposed to? And then they're also booing Kenny Omega, and then they were booing like they were kind of like all over Hangman Page, like he was like the one that everyone seemed to like in that.
Yes.
But then he was acting like a heel in the match. So I'm like, so I didn't get it. For me as you could say almost a blind viewer, I didn't really get those dynamics, but I enjoyed the match.
Was that the crowd's doing, or was
it was just
supposed to be?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Obviously, in them, they do think that a heel, they're meant to be a heel and a face team. So even though they were both faces, they both came out the face side of the entrance. The Young Bucks had to play a bit of heel element to it because they were
booed.
they
wasn't like a little bit.
Yeah, they were getting booed.
Yeah, they were.
I thought that maybe they're like heels now, and I've missed something or whatever.
Just for this match.
But then I like the Young Bucks. So I was like, but I kind of want to root for them. But then when Kenny Omega's also not really getting a great reception, but then Hangman Page is just over. So I was like, okay. But then Hangman Page was acting like the heel because he was targeting the guy's back. Matt Buck, is that what you call him?
Matt Buck, Matt Jackson.
That's the one, Matt Jackson, that's the one. So when he's like targeting his back or whatever, then it's like, okay, so that means he's doing heelish stuff, so he's the heel, but then everyone's completely on him. So I'm like, who am I meant to root for? But nonetheless, probably my match of the night, my second match of the night.
Oh, wow, okay.
I got a question for you. What did you think of towards the end, like the last 5 minutes where it was
chaos?
Constant near falls. I forgot to touch on this where, obviously it's good, the crowd are into it, but does that hurt the match when it's like every move is not being sold? Like, it's just, what do you think of that?
Yeah, so for me,
there was many points where the match could have ended.
Right? Oh, yeah, 100%.
I've always said that, like, I feel like AEW is where they might lack in things like storylines and all of that. They make up for in match quality. But then in terms of like a match like this, it's like they kept hitting high impact after high impact after finisher.
Their tag matches are spot fest.
After high impact, and yet everyone just keeps kicking out. And the one crucial point, which was when did he hit a finisher on Matt Jackson or whatever, but then they kind of had like a little moment, and then Kenny Omega went to do his move and couldn't sell it. But then Hangman Page came in and did that move.
The one wing angel.
And then you think, okay, then that's going to be the finish.
Yeah.
And then he kicked out, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Like,
but that's what they say. It's like anytime Omega does it, then no one kicks out of it. But because it's like a bootleg version, he kicks out of it. I bet that was their reason. Because so far, no one's kicked out of it when Omega does it.
But then you look at what actually put him down. Like, it was the clothesline.
Oh, the
Not to
box
take
out
away
code.
anything from that move because it's a badass move, but compared to if you consider what he's kicked out of, that keeps him down. Like,
But then that's like the same thing with the Chris Jericho thing because his thing is meant to be that elbow, isn't it? So like the entire match will happen, but then that elbow keeps you down. So
that's true.
I forgot about it.
But then so in terms of that, like I enjoyed that match and whatnot. But like I said, so my match of the night, although I felt like it was overbooked, I'm going with the MJF Cody Rhodes match. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that match, but I'm a huge MJF mark. If you haven't,
I didn't really like the ending because I got a feeling that no one realized what happened.
Yeah, they didn't help it because MJF was really tanned, and then he's also like when you're really tanned, and then you do that thing where the blood mixes with the tan, so the brass knuckles kind of blended into his hand.
Yeah, no one really saw
the diamond ring, or whatever it was, the diamond ring, brass knuckles, whatever it was. So when he's kind of gone to put it on, and then he's clocked Cody with it. And then it's kind of like you don't really realize what has happened. The commentators told us what happened.
Oh, you couldn't see that he put the
ring. I just remember he just punched him and then Cody was down.
They were like, "Oh, he's wearing the ring. He's wearing the ring." And then he went for the pin. He fell on him for the pin. And then it was like, oh.
Because even the crowd was just like deadpan. They were just like, what just happened? Like, how was he winning just by punch? It's like, it wasn't until unless you're smart enough and you just say, all right. Yeah, he loves using that. He loves talking about that ring. Okay, that's the reason why he lost. He punched it with the ring, or unless you see it on the Titantrons. But it was a bit of a weak finish for me. It was a good match. It was.
I love me some MJF. Like he's such a douchebag. He's everything that the Miz should have been and could have been. But
he's his gimmick 24/7. I don't know if you've seen that controversial picture that came up when he
a little kid.
And it was he middle finger the kid at a convention.
I've seen so many things where he's signing things and he's just like signing his autograph and just giving it to them. Signing it. There was one where he was I don't know if this was before his AEW time, but he was in the same gimmick on the turnbuckle doing his thing, and a kid this was like a cheap show, like people in the crowd could walk around the ring and stuff. And the kid gave him the finger, and he literally jumped off the turnbuckle and went to chase the kid. Like it was, it's funny, man.
He lives up to his gimmick, man. He's that 24/7. I'm pretty sure he's a nice guy. Like
he's like
behind the scenes.
He's a mix between old school Alberto Del Rio and old school Miz. That's what he is.
But then in terms of his whole everything, it's basically what Miz in his
champion days.
Yeah, like that Miz
with Alex Riley.
He's everything that Miz should have been.
Yes,
kind of thing. Yeah. But then it's like I get that with AEW, I guess, because they have the free reigns to be a bit more adult and a bit more provocative in that aspect. Mm-hmm. So therefore, every character in WWE, they have an AEW counterpart, and the AEW counterpart will do it better because there's a bit more free reign. Because that girl who was doing, I forgot what her name is, but she was like the Bailey character.
Oh yeah, Kylie.
Kylie Ray.
Kylie Ray, yeah.
But then she was like, everything that Bailey should have been. And whatnot, but then I think she's left now.
She's left now for some personal reasons, but now she's just all of a sudden showed up in Impact, either Impact or Ring of Honor, one of them.
But she's everything that she was everything that Bailey should have been. I guess you've got MJF who's everything that the Miz should have been. Can I think of any other characters maybe? Okay, when it comes to me, I get to it and stuff like that. I did like Pac versus Orange Cassidy. I personally never have been high on Orange Cassidy. Is it the name Orange Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed.
I've never really been high on him because, as my little brother used to explain, his whole gimmick is the thing of like he would do like next to nothing, but everyone just overhypes it. So when he just like taps you, like
it's amazing. He's pretty much probably the second most over person in AEW. It's ridiculous. It was just because it's so cool with it, and actually I'm growing to it as well.
Yeah, because the fans were so into it and into that match, and then also I am a fan of Pac Neville. How do you want to call him?
Pac.
I'm a fan of him, so therefore I was like invested in that match just on his side of it because I was like, okay, well, let me see where this match goes. But it was actually like a really like fun match to watch.
Good match, very hard.
And then weirdly enough, I'm gonna say this again. I like Jericho I like Chris Jericho full stop and whatnot. Never really been a fan of Moxley or Ambrose, however you want to phrase him. Never really been a fan, and it's still gonna stand. But I watched that match because it's the main event, and yet I find myself still seeing the main event not be the best match on the card.
Yeah, I agree.
So, as I feel like the match was. I'm not saying the match was bad. It's just that there were matches that were better, and I kind of feel like AEW. I will kind of categorize in the same place as NXT, And on NXT, even though the pay-per-views, they kind of try to make it so that each match is just as good as each other. The main event is always kind of the standout match at TakeOver. It really is, or even the like regular shows. The main event is the standout match, and yet on this card, the main event wasn't the standout. But then I felt like this with the last pay-per-view that they had. What was the last one again? It was like Jericho and
it's a full game. Yeah, Jericho.
The last pay-per-view is Jericho and Omega.
No, because they faced Cody. Jericho faced Cody. The main event was Moxley against Omega.
That's the one. But then it's like, that was the main event of the last one.
Yes.
But then wasn't that good?
That was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That was a no lights out, no holds barred match.
Oh yes, it was. Okay, yes. Okay, never mind then. I can't. I was going to use the last pay-per-view as an example, but now I'm thinking of the one we did with Jericho and Omega because that main event was weak.
Yes.
In comparison to the rest of the card.
Yes.
So like, okay then. So with this one, it was I just felt like the main event was my weakest match. Well, not the weakest, but a weak match on the card.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, the pay-per-view genuinely was fun for me. I had fun watching it. But then the Chicago crowd with wrestling is always going to be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Chicago crowd are just always going to be into it.
Certain cities just amplify everything.
Yeah,
right,
Chicago, Philadelphia,
UK
is can be just as good. Yeah, those are the three big ones, and sometimes Canada.
New
They
York,
used to be mad.
New York.
Yeah, New York
Like,
as well. Yeah.
You know, so like there's certain cities that you just know when WWE or any wrestling promotion is going to be there. It's like, okay, this is going to be a hot crowd.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Like you're going to be into it. It's weird that they haven't had a takeover Chicago yet, have they? Or have they?
That sounds like that name TakeOver Chicago.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, because there's an entrance. There's a
sure that's arena.
Yeah, there's an arena.
2K.
Yes, that is. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Coming up is Tampa Bay, right?
Tampa Bay. Probably TakeOver Florida, aren't they? No? Is it TakeOver Tampa or TakeOver Florida?
No, TakeOver Tampa.
Okay,
Because it's in Tampa, so yeah.
WrestleMania season.
Yeah, the WrestleMania season. I agree with pretty much what you guys were saying. My match of the night was definitely the tag team match. That was
really match
yeah.
of the night?
The chemistry was just amazing. Yeah, I would say so. There was a couple of like iffy spots, but then when they did the Meltzer driver on the ramp, that was fun. You know, that was freaking amazing. The close calls. There was a couple like I agree. There were certain points where this is definitely done, but then someone interfered or there's a kick out and stuff, so it kind of lessened the power of the move. But
okay, that's my thing as well. If you're gonna have the near falls, don't let it kick out. So when the match is like okay, they hit the move and then a Jackson brother would interfere or Omega interferes or someone breaks it up, that's okay then the match is going to keep going, but when someone just kicks out clean.
Yeah.
Like I said, he got a finisher and then Hangman Page hit the one winged angel and stuff like that and then he kicked out.
Yeah.
It wasn't broken up, he kicked out. It was just like, come on.
No, I get that. But yeah, that was definitely my match. Even Dave Meltzer gave it 6 out of 5. He gave it, so he fucking loved it. So the MJF Cody match was serviceable. It was alright. My second favorite match of the night was Pac against Orange Cassidy. That was cool. Like you say, you thought that he wasn't going to be up for it because he was kind of reminiscent of with him against Enzo.
Especially just coming off the feud with him and Omega and stuff. And then I mean, but it was good.
But I think just storyline wise and it was a situation where like he was promised one thing and they completely went left when it came to him and Enzo, and there was like just little to no reason. I think that's why he was more up for it now than he was back then. Because everything is so short-term booking over there, and you know you get promised one thing and you get fucked over the next. So, but yeah, he made the most of it. The right person won, obviously, and yeah, I would say it probably wasn't the best pay. Full Gear is still number one. Like that's my
and that's
favorite
the Moxley Omega.
Yes, that pay per view in terms of AEW was great.
Did I not watch that one? I feel like I watched that one.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure
I missed a couple AEW pay per views. I missed Full Gear. I missed Fyter Fest.
Oh yeah,
but Fyter Fest wasn't a pay per view.
Yeah, there was
that was like
I saw Double or Nothing. What was the other pay per view? The one we watched.
All Out.
Yeah,
All Out. Yeah.
Which one's that one?
That was the second one.
Omega Jericho.
That was when they crowned. No, that was Hangman Page against Jericho for the first.
Oh, so that's the main event that I'm on about then.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking of like
Yeah.
Because no, Jericho Omega would have been the All In. Was that All In?
That was
Jericho
All In.
Omega
Yes. That was All In because
that was
to determine the number one contender who was going to whoever faced that was going to face Hangman Page at All Out.
Right.
That was the stipulation. Yeah. But Jericho was not champion when he faced Omega. I know that for a fact.
Right, but I'm saying like I'm just remembering that like of the matches and stuff like that, there was a Jericho match that I thought was weakest or one of the weakest matches on the card.
Yeah, Jericho and Omega happened, and that's when you saw Moxley. That was a double or nothing.
That was double or nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, the overall it was. I'm just gonna jump to ratings. So out of 10, I'll probably give that pay-per-view probably a 7. I'll give it a 7. I think that's fair.
I would agree. I would also give it a 7. Okay. But then for me, the 7 comes from little aesthetics. Like I just little aesthetics that when you come to watch a WWE show and you just know how you get accustomed to how the show should be presented to you. But then AEW can still be a bit indie in that respect. So, like certain things that they do or certain ways that it's filmed or shot and whatnot. So yeah. So just for little aesthetics, a 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow suit. I agree. I'm gonna go with a 7 as well. So
okay. Second time in a row, unanimous decision, Mayu.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't their best one, but it's still serviceable. Much better than the next pay-per-view that we're gonna be talking about, and that is WWE Super Showdown. Oh my goodness, we got so much to talk about this one, aren't we?
This is a pay-per-view where even before the pay-per-view, just the match card alone is bad.
Right.
So it's not even that it's a bad pay-per-view, it's the match card is bad. So it's bad before it starts. So you can't save it.
Oh
right,
my
it was
goodness.
like a whole thing over.
I'm gonna have fun with this. Let's dissect the match card, shall we?
Pre-show or
no, fuck the pre-show. I'm going straight into
pre-show?
There was just one match. There was the OC versus the Viking Raiders.
I didn't even realize that was a match.
That's why I wanted to skip that. That's what I'm saying. So like, yeah.
Come on, let's go, man. This is a waste of time. This is vexing me.
All right, so since you want to know about that, so yeah, the OC won clean. They beat the Viking.
Okay,
but
I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that because they flipping buried that team.
For some reason, the OC have got something on them when it comes to the Saudi Arabia shows. This is the second pay-per-view in a row that the OC beat the Raiders. It's really weird. I don't know. But yeah, they completely buried them, like you said. Moving on to that, then it was the gauntlet match for the two-weight, the most prestigious trophy in the world, the two-weight trophy. Yeah,
that's most prestigious trophy in the world, but yet this is the first mention of it ever.
Yeah,
let's just point that out.
No, yeah. But Michael Cole emphasized on that. But you're going.
So I'm going to be the one to say I don't know if these two are going to have an opinion on it, but I, for one, didn't watch this match.
I barely watched the pay-per-view.
I saw that this match was going to happen, and then I'm a bit like, okay, then so this was the messy gauntlet that it was like. I don't think was Andrade even in it because he was in it.
It was his violation finished about a couple of days before.
Rusev was in it and got taken out.
Yes,
because he's
either injured or because he's not signing a contract. Yeah.
So Rusev was taken out of it. All that. Basically, this match for me just was a mess from the get-go. I kind of did that thing where I was like, I don't really care who wins this match because it's just a pointless trophy. So I skipped to the end or to the end-ish, and then I saw that Rey Mysterio. I skipped to the bit where Rey Mysterio's bit was coming out. So it's AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio.
All right. Let's break it down though. Let's break it down.
Yeah.
So
I got to that point. And then it's like, Rey Mysterio wasn't coming out and AJ Styles is smiling. I'm a bit like, okay, so that means that storyline-wise, something's going to have happened. And then you see that the OC have taken out Rey Mysterio backstage. So AJ Styles wants to win or whatever. And then obviously we now get the random appearance of The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Do you know how long the flight to that country is?
No, how long is it?
I would assume super long, and that's what you flew for, to do a segment on the screen where you get beat up and you don't even compete.
I know.
And then the thing is that like I'm pretty sure that however long the flight is to Saudi Arabia was how long we had to sit there and watch Undertaker's entrance for, because that was just, that dragged on for forever.
So if they left from New York, it is an 11-hour flight
to Saudi
Arabia
with the risk of not coming back. Nah.
Yo.
Well, get that Saudi money, hey. And then for Undertaker to turn up, and then for him to like win off of a choke slam, not even win off.
Not even that. They didn't even take off his hat and jacket, you know.
Right,
I
he
to
just
see
came
this
out.
video or something like, because you look, I didn't even change for the match, like.
Yeah, he did. He just came out and then he stood in the ring and then he like choked slam.
Can I just ask? We know the ending was dead.
A botched choke slam, by the way.
Yeah,
Were the matches in between good? Can you at least tell me that?
Alright, no, let me further break it down. Let me break down the foundation. So, R-Truth came out, did his usual thing. The first person he was facing was Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was running, he was beating R-Truth's ass. Beating his ass. And then he was getting ready to do his spear. And then obviously R-Truth was in the other side. So when he was charging at him, R-Truth moved out of the way. And then Bobby Lashley gumbucked the turnbuckle, as Big Man Rise says, yeah? So he gumbucked the turnbuckle. And then you know when someone goes on all fours and it makes the person that's standing fall over them. Yeah. So basically that's what happened. And then R-Truth just rolled him up like that. 1, 2, 3. But Bobby Lashley is eliminated, right?
Oh.
Next person that comes out, Andrade. First match back and all that kind of stuff. Again, he was kicking R-Truth's ass. All this stuff. Like R-Truth barely had any offense. And then you know that move. You know what? I think R-Truth was about to get some offense. He was rebounding off the ropes, and you know that move that Andrade does, where he's like a feint boot, but he elbows you.
Yeah,
he does that. They done that. By the looks of it, for that split second, Andrade does not know how to accomplish or finish his move. So he did it, and then they actually headbutted each other. So Andrade is completely on the floor like this. R-Truth is just like standing up doing this, and then he just, of all places, he falls on top of Andrade. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly.
Is that how the crowd reacted?
Obviously they're cheering. They don't know better. But they're cheering. Of course they know.
He said they don't know any better. Your subscribers from that country just went down. Wow. They don't know any better. That's deep.
But admittedly, you've watched the Saudi show. You know the crowd kind of don't know what they're cheering
for. They don't know what they're cheering for. They know. They want to see Yokozuna. That's what they want to see.
The thoughts of him and him do not represent me. That's cool. I'm not trying to vex any prince. Oh God.
Oh my God.
I got plans tomorrow.
All right, moving swiftly on. So yeah, R-Truth is still in the match. Next person that comes out is Eric Rowan with his little thing, which we'll get into. Jeez, you God. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Eric Rowan comes out with his little pen stuff, and then R-Truth is still getting clobbered, and then I think R-Truth was about to wanted to look into the pen. So obviously Eric Rowan gets mad, picks up the steel steps, bashes R-Truth's skull in. He gets disqualified. So R-Truth is still active. So that's when AJ Styles comes out. AJ Styles still running, beating his ass. Hits him with the calf crusher. R-Truth taps out, and then that's when he started saying, "All right, come out, Rey Mysterio." Then he's getting beaten by the OC. Then he wants to say it's automatic forfeit, and then you see them all OC on the floor getting, and then you just what was it? Undertaker walks in the shot, doesn't he? You see the coat and boots. Has his 5-minute walkout. Yeah, AJ starts obviously poking his finger in the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Undertaker's just like, I just want my Saudi money. So chokeslam, boss chokeslam, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. It's a fucking boss one. And then
how'd you botch a chokeslam on someone so small?
He does it, but I think AJ must have jumped higher than Undertaker went up. So AJ jumped higher. Undertaker kind of lost grip. So
yeah, and it was just a very That's what it was like. It wasn't
like an impactful one, like a cane choke slam, like when he
even when you see the replays, they freeze frame it from before he lands on the floor, so that's how you know it was botched. So yeah, then he did his rest in peace pin, and of all people, the Undertaker is the winner of the 2-8 trophy, the most prestigious trophy, which no one's ever heard of before, but all of a sudden it's the most prestigious, and I don't know how that benefits the Undertaker.
Or anyone for that matter.
Or anyone, but I just don't imagine the Undertaker coming down with that trophy like
He's
you.
not.
They should have gave it to AJ. He's the one that's most likely going to be boasting about it, and all this kind of shit. But no, they just gave it to the Undertaker.
Can we just deep the fact that this feud started at Super Showdown?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is like this could be an awesome match at WrestleMania. It's most likely going to be at WrestleMania.
And what's the basis of it? What, a gauntlet match?
That he wasn't even actually in.
Exactly. Why? How did he win it? Exactly. It doesn't make any freaking sense.
Was not advertised.
Was not advertised. But for some reason, he just automatically gets replaced. He replaces Mysterio, and he's the automatic winner.
So wait, who were the original participants?
Everyone that we mentioned, with the inclusion of Rusev.
Yes,
but not Rey Mysterio.
No,
Rey Mysterio replaced Rusev.
Yeah, so before Rey Mysterio wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't in it. No.
So would it have been Rusev that got attacked?
Yeah.
Or would that even have happened?
I don't even know what happened. No, I think they just they had an excuse to take out Rusev because of the contract thing, and then it just makes it easier for them to just use Mysterio as a scapegoat.
The reason why I'm asking is if it was going to go how it was with the original participants, would the Undertaker thing even have happened?
I think the Undertaker thing was going to happen because Super Showdown needed
they need legends.
They needed something because Goldberg wasn't enough.
Yeah, you need a minimum of 2 legends at a Saudi Arabia show. Have you noticed that?
And Mansoor.
And 2 butchers.
And Mansoor. And 2 butchers, yeah. And Mansoor, yeah. Those are the minimum requirements.
Oh, Mansoor is like Stone Cold Steve Austin there, man.
It is. He is so over out there. I think he's currently undefeated now, isn't he?
What happens when you
over there? That's what I'm saying. Like, he's currently undefeated. So, boy.
When he won the Battle Royal, it was a good look.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything since.
Yeah, pretty much.
Has he been on Raw or 205 or
no?
NXT. When he won that Battle Royal, he was on NXT, and then he's a 205 live commentator.
So he's made him a commentator before his career's even started. Nah.
Well, this is why
I don't want to talk about.
This is why when you watched the NXT the TakeOver Portland pre-show, he was talking on the pre-show.
It's downhill from there when you're doing that, man.
He's basically the Undertaker of Super Showdown right now, Crown Jewel. Like the guys, if you say he's undefeated, that guy, he can run things there, boy. That's keep it going. Good luck on him. But yeah, like I said, Undertaker won that prestigious 2-8 trophy, which basically looked like a big block of piss, but it was just chopped, just frozen. That's what it looked like. It just looked, it was ridiculous.
But we digress.
We digress. Next match was The Miz and John Morrison versus The New Day for the WWE Tag Team titles.
Didn't watch it.
I didn't watch this match either. I did, however, watch the ending, and it was wasn't it Kofi Kingston to the fall, isn't it?
Yes, Kofi Kingston to the fall.
Which again, I have. Yeah.
Kofi Mania is dead this year, just letting y'all know.
Yeah. How he can take the forward and the thing is he got pinned by what? It was that he got hit with a chair?
Something like that. Yes, it was to the gut.
He got hit with the chair in the gut and then it was just a roll up.
Yeah, roll up.
A roll up of that. Like it wasn't even a skull crushing finale or anything. It was hit in the gut and then a roll up and then Miz and Morrison are the new tag team champions.
Which by the way are getting booked poorly. Yes, they lost clean in their first match as champions,
and then Heavy Machinery beat them in the gauntlet.
The champions. Oh my god! What was the point of putting them on the? Yes, it's fucking ridiculous.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure John Morrison must be like, "What the fuck have I done?" I should have kept my ass quiet at flipping Lucha Underground and Impact.
He's getting that WWE money, so he's not complaining.
Yeah, I guess so. It's gone to that point right now. Yeah. So, but yeah. Next match was Angel. Is it Angel Garza or is it Angel Garza? Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo.
Which for me is just a match that we had already seen like 3 times on Raw previously. So
and the ending was pretty much the same because Angel Garza won.
I don't even know who he is.
He is the guy who beat Leo Rush for the Cruiserweight title.
And proposed the son.
Yeah, proposed, he was the same one.
Are they like all cousins or something?
Yeah, they're cousins, yeah.
Him, Andrada, Hunico, whatever, I don't know.
Him and Andrada, yeah. But yeah, it was just run of the mill. Probably that was the best match of the night, but even though I was watching that live, I was busy doing other stuff. I could not care for it.
I didn't, whatever. Yeah, as soon as I saw so for me, it was, who was the first person to come out? I think it was Humberto Carrillo, or the one to come out first. When I saw him coming out, I was like, hey, well, I'm not invested in this match at all, so I didn't even bother. And then, so I can't even comment on this match. If it was the match of the night, then, kudos to them, but I just did not see it.
Understandable. Then the next match was Seth Rollins and Murphy versus the Street Profits. Your best guys, man.
You're the one that's not a fan of the Street Profits.
Oh,
right?
he despised them, as I said in my Instagram post.
So my thing with this match is I liked the reception that Seth Rollins got. He got a pop and everything like that. I don't necessarily care for random individuals or solo superstars as tag team champions, regardless, even if it's for storyline. I just don't like that. So for Rollins and Murphy to be champions, it works for Murphy and it elevates him. Mm-hmm. But right now WWE is lousy with tag teams, like actual tag teams.
Vince hates tag teams. So, he hates them. That's why you don't see stables. He does not like that. I don't know what's his gripe. But he does not rate tag teams or stables.
Tag team wrestling, okay, factions or stables, I understand that, but like tag team wrestling can be good if it's done right. And the thing is, fair enough, this match it probably was good. I didn't watch it, but at the end of the day, it's like when you've got so many like actual tag teams. So you have when I say actual tag teams, I mean like people who aren't necessarily like I say. So Murphy and Rollins are solo superstars, like they are singles competitors. Whereas like, Heavy Machinery, New Day, what's it called? The Usos, like, who else have you got? The Club, the OC, sorry. You've got Street Profits. You've got like all these people who are just like, actual tag teams or like tag team wrestlers. So your tag team champions are just two solo guys put together.
You did it with Ziggler and Rude.
Yeah, but then I don't rate them as a tag team either.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so on the initial point, I 100% agree with you because I'm like that as well. When they put random people together, despite the fact that the roster has legit tag teams, it vexes me. Yeah. Especially because usually that team has a time limit before they disband. However, sometimes it works. It worked with Sheamus and Cesaro. They were a solid team. If you think about it, New Day were singles competitors who got smashed together. And they are now, you can't not think of tag teams when you think of them. So, I don't know. I mean, they're probably not going to do it with Seth and Buddy. Or can we call him Buddy now?
Nope.
I think his name
Murphy.
Right?
But who knows?
No, but then, see, with those, it was kind of like so with the New Day, they were just coming together as a whole.
They were completely individuals.
I don't consider them a tag team. They're like a. Would you say they're a faction?
Stable,
the New Day, the stable. Yeah, they're like a. It's a team. Teams are normally just two, isn't it? Yeah. But then it's like.
I know what you're saying, though.
But it's like so with the New Day, like a collective.
Yes, perfect word.
So it's like even though they were initially three solo superstars, but mind you, Kofi Kingston, like Ziggler, was always put in random teams, yeah. So true. It's like to piece them together, but then you piece them together and they all gelled well whenever it came to their like mic work and all of that, as well as their in-ring work. They just clicked together. So therefore, I now consider the New Day like tag team wrestlers. Fair enough, they can all still stand alone as solos, but they are tag team wrestlers.
Did you ever change how you felt about Cesaro and Sheamus, or did you always?
Well, see, with the Cesaro and Sheamus thing, because I had already become so kind of off-put by them by that Best of 7 series, so I just didn't care for them at the end of the day regardless. So then for me to now also have them shoved down my throat in the form of them being a tag team, it was like, okay, storyline-wise, I get it. Like, you guys agreed the mutual respect. But I feel like Sheamus I've never put him as a tag team wrestler. He's always been like a solo competitor. Cesaro works as a tag team though, because Cesaro was with Tyson Kidd before.
Yeah, he was.
And then even when he was in NXT, wasn't he briefly with someone in NXT? I can't remember, when he was Antonio Cesaro. He was briefly tagged. I think he was teaming with.
He was with Rusev one time, wasn't he?
Or like he was teaming with someone in NXT, I believe. So Cesaro is one of the ones where he may be a crossover as well, but then. In general, like he is I'll put him down as an in-between. Same as Ziggler, I put him as an in-betweener. Like they can do both, but then in the same breath, when you see them, they are single competitors. It's not Ziggler, he's part of a tag team, or
I just don't know why they did it in the first place when you have AOP right next to them.
Yeah,
who are
very true. Yes,
yeah, it would have made sense. I don't know, like it just. I mean, I think, funnily enough, ironically, one of you just said they don't really do factions anymore. Technically, they've got that faction on Monday Night.
Yeah.
And it could, you right now, you hate Seth because you kind of hated him before the turn because he was just becoming stale and boring.
Yeah.
Now, I think if he runs with that and even stops being so serious and actually tries to be Jesus-y, like with this Messiah thing, it could actually get over.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like he could become the heel that you start cheering again. Yeah. Like, because it's almost funny, but then you hate it when he screws someone over or something like that. So and right now,
Punk could do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm referring to. And the thing is, right? Yeah, there may be the last thing that happens on Raw, but they're not in the title picture. So to me, you're not main event. You're not mid card because you're the main event of the show, maybe. But his feud with Kevin Owens isn't trumping Drew and Brock Lesnar, for example. So once you put the Universal title in the mix, they could run Raw. They could be the
WWE title.
Yes, they could be the WWE's version of.
Oh, the champion and all of that.
Oh, they're in a circle.
Yes. Yeah. We could have that.
Yeah.
But that's what I gotta say about that. I don't care.
Mind you, I think the whole thing that this started was that we were talking about the tag team match that happened at Super Showdown. I couldn't tell you what happened in that match. I don't even know who. I think I'm gonna say Rollins and Murphy won, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they won that one. Yeah, they won that.
So I couldn't tell you what was going on in that match or anything like that. So it just is what it is, really.
I mean, yeah, obviously that was as a prelude for what happened afterwards in the Raw after. Which way I don't have to look and man's shaking his head,
It's probably like our worst review of a pay-per-view ever. Like none of us watched this pay-per-view, but yet here we are.
Yeah, no, it's the aftermath as well.
I'm not speaking on that. When you upload it, you click in Made for Kids?
No, I'm not.
I can't say what I'm doing.
I'll put a big fat parental advisory sticker on the thumbnail. But
it's very bad. That's what I was saying.
All right, so then from Super Showdown, we will go to our next match.
So the Mansoor versus Dolph Ziggler. I skipped this one again.
See, for me, this honestly was going to be off the top of my head or on paper. I felt that this was going to be a match of the night.
Oh yeah,
Crown Jewel,
it should.
Because at Crown Jewel, Cesaro and Mansoor was the match of the night.
Yes, 100%.
So that was the last one for Crown Jewel, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the match of the night. So I was like, okay, then so Mansoor, and I know Dolph Ziggler has tremendous matches when he's given the opportunity to. So I was like, okay, so this is a solo match from Ziggler. And Mansoor is the hometown hero, so this will probably be a really good match. I just remember getting I think 5 minutes in, and I'm just like, it's that thing where you start looking at your phone, or you start doing other stuff.
That's a bad sign already.
And then next thing I know, I just remember I think I heard did Mansoor hit a moonsault, and then he got the win, and I was like, oh, the match is over. Okay, cool. I was and then I was like, oh, so much of that being the match of the night kind of thing. It
was 9 minutes and 21 seconds.
Right, so
that's actually quite long. That's time. Yeah, that is time.
In comparison to whoever matches, who had longer.
Well, the tag match was 10 minutes 35.
The main event wasn't that long.
Yeah, the main. We'll get to that. The gauntlet match was 21 minutes, so 9 minutes in wrestling time.
That's
I know. I guess not, but yeah. And then the SmackDown tag team title match was 13 minutes, so that is actually quite a lengthy match in wrestling time. 10 minutes.
Wrestling time.
Yes, yeah, you can do a lot.
Okay, but then you don't honestly, like I said, once you start looking at your phone and you get engrossed in other things.
That means it must have been a slow build. You weren't intrigued from the beginning.
No, literally, I think even, but then mind you, I'm not gonna lie, the Saudi crowd may not necessarily be the best of crowds. I get that, but then this crowd was just because it was in a different place in Saudi, wasn't it? It wasn't their Jeddah or their regular place.
It was in Riyadh, but it was I think they built that stadium just for that event. It wasn't at the one preview. It wasn't like a stadium. It was just something.
Yeah, but then the one that they normally go to is a particular venue, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then the people kind of interact more and stuff. This crowd, I don't know if it was because it was outside and you couldn't really hear the crowd, but this crowd was just silent for the majority of the night. Things were happening and this crowd was silent.
You lot keep dissing their intelligence, man.
I'm not dissing their intelligence. I'm just saying that when things
because of the acoustics,
the aesthetics.
No, but
acoustics,
but when you're just watching something and it's for me, if I'm watching the pay-per-view, it's regardless of how into it we are, we're all still watching a match. We still heard the oohs and the ahs.
The crowd does make it,
the claps and stuff. But this crowd was silent. Silent. So I'm just so it was just kind of so even in this Mansoor match they were not popping or cheering or anything really. They treated it like every other match on the card. So it was just once I get engrossed in my phone and stuff, it just kind of became I missed this match and it just kind of happened. So it just is what it is. But moving swiftly on, the best match of the night, Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet. Now, let me get started on this one, my lord. Yo, you're talking about Rey Mysterio, Rey Mysterio.
You're talking about Rey Mysterio going all the way to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia just to get beat down backstage. I didn't actually do it, but I read somewhere that the video package before this match was longer than the match.
Right, yeah.
But that's included the entrances and everything, you know.
Right.
So yeah, as you probably guessed, Brock Lesnar won in emphatic fashion. I'm looking at the time right now. 1 minute 34.
Well, do you know what? That's a whole 50 seconds longer than Kofi Kingston. So.
Don't bring up Kofi Kingston. Gonna get triggered. But it was just hilarious. So obviously, Ricochet comes out, try to do a running drop kick. Brock Lesnar just swats him away, and then that was pretty much the only offense that Ricochet even had. And then after that, it was Suplex City, and F5 done. Good night. Thank you, ma'am. Where's my Saudi money? You know what I'm saying? I was completely shocked because the whole time the build-up was that Ricochet could have a possible chance. We didn't think that he was going to be champion. Hell no.
But some kind of fight, right?
Some kind of fight. Ricochet deserves that. And
Kofi Kingston deserved that.
Exactly. I'm not justifying what they did to Kofi. That's not. You can't justify that. But what is it with him and these and I don't want to say it's a race thing. I don't want to say
it's a size thing.
It's a size thing as well. Yeah, it's
a size thing because look at how Rey Mysterio's match was longer than both of them combined, and he's a person of color too.
Yeah, I suppose that Ray's like a legend in that sense, isn't he?
But then Rey Mysterio is in the same line as Kofi Kingston and Ricochet in terms of ability. So it's
legacy. It's not. Come on, man.
That's all I'd say to that.
Rey Mysterio is wrestling with the man that stayed at school. Ray, you can't. Yeah, I'm as hurt with the whole Kofi thing as you are, but I'm not gonna dog on Rey Mysterio, man.
I'm not dogging on Rey Mysterio either, but what I'm saying is you can't build potential new stars by having your old stars just run through them like this. And
I said that before. I agree.
And it's I understand that Ricochet is no Brock Lesnar, but then in the same breath, you can't spend the better part of a month and a half trying to build Ricochet to make us believe in this match and then have him lose in a minute. At least Kofi Kingston, it was a 2-week build. So it's just there was nothing really other than it being the Fox launch. There was no reason for that match. But this Ricochet thing was meant to be, there was a what was it? There was the segment before the Royal Rumble. There was the fact that Ricochet low-blowed Lesnar to get him eliminated in the first place. Then there was just Ricochet went through that fatal 5-way? Fatal 4-way match?
Yeah, fatal 5-way.
Fatal 5-way match in order to win that shot, and then they were building him as this potential good competitor that he could.
And this could be a good test for Lesnar before McIntyre. He's got that on his mind. Is that going to affect him? They could have done something.
We could potentially be getting Ricochet and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. They built it it's going somewhere. Just to give us that, it was
Swerve.
Oh my! Oh, is this the
that wasn't
even watch, isn't it? Sorry, guys. We're just watching the original Elimination Chamber in the background.
They're watching it. I'm trying to.
This was bad for Triple H.
Triple H is about to get his trachea smashed.
Yeah, this was so. Oh man. Oh. Ooh. You can see, he's in pain right there. Oh man.
In his neck.
Behind his neck.
Throat.
Yeah. Dude, he needed oxygen after. That's one thing I must applaud him with. When he's been in really bad situations, and he pulls through. Even when he tore off his quads.
But then, I've said,
and he still finished that match.
But then,
what hit him? What is it?
It was his knee, his shin. It's so quick, you don't see it, sorry.
But then, I've said, because we've had this in the past when we were talking about wrestling having off seasons and stuff like that, and I've said that from a wrestling standpoint, what they often say to you is finish the match. Mm-hmm. And this is why a lot of wrestlers do get injured even more so because it's ingrained in them to at least finish the match. This is why when Paige got injured, her thing was she wanted to finish the match, but Sasha Banks said no. So then it was that's when the match got cut, and then it's she was actually injured. And then it's other wrestlers have been many times when they're doing matches and stuff, and it's finish the match. That's what they feel to do. It's just what they do, but
Yeah, I mean, props to him. They're definitely I think he's been in worse situations more than twice or three times actually. The quads, this,
and that quad again.
Did it quite get
the exact same thing on
That was
the
the other leg, yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
And DX versus RKO.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and obviously the arm thing at Super Showdown.
Finish the match.
Got props to them, man. But yeah, we're going off on a tangent. So yeah, what's your thoughts on Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet? I didn't even get your thoughts on that.
I can't remember if I watched it or you just told me what happened. But
You know, if someone tells you what happened, that's all you need to know. Even if someone just says to you, "Oh, Brock Lesnar beat Ricochet," you don't need a whole rundown of what happened.
Look,
That's what
to
happened.
be honest, look, at any kind of match, if one person doesn't get offense in that match, and that's not the gimmick of the match, like Braun Strowman versus a local competitor, if it's supposed to be something of that magnitude, it's dead. Even if I'm the biggest Lesnar fan, I want to see Lesnar have a fight. Because that's like practice mode. Like what was the point in Ricochet being there? Like, you're telling me Ricochet had no offense.
No offense.
And I get what you're saying. It does hurt Ricochet and it doesn't. It doesn't because it's Lesnar, so everybody just knows it's an exception. It's not like that happened with anybody else, but it's still somebody that beat him ridiculously quick.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And like what now Ricochet is gonna come back and compete for a mid-card title and we're supposed to believe that he can get it, like, you know, and then it's true what you're saying. If we're using logic, which apparently you're not supposed to do, someone else is going to face Lesnar who's maybe just as good as Ricochet and get more time.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that person is better than Ricochet or what? Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, I know we're not supposed to think that deep and we're supposed to just enjoy it for what it is at the moment and move on. That's how sports entertainment works. But we're not stupid, you know. And it's
right.
And you know, it's different if it's like maybe Lesnar was the face and Ricochet was the heel. But when Ricochet is the face, whoever the face is, that's the star that you are trying to push in terms of being believable. You're trying to push your heels too, but faces more so because you are there to root for them, right?
Right.
Especially in a championship match. It's like you said, the build. I didn't even remember all of that. That build is ridiculous. To then just scrap it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I have to ask the simple question: what was the point?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you achieve from that? It doesn't put Lesnar over. It doesn't make Lesnar's ready for Drew. Like, it doesn't do that. Like,
Right.
You know.
It does Lesnar's ready for Drew if Lesnar did that to a Goldberg or something like that, you know? But then, so like if Lesnar ran through Goldberg and whatnot before Drew McIntyre, and it's like, yeah, so Brock Lesnar's ready. But he ran through a man who's like 10 times smaller than McIntyre. I'll say a bit like that.
Yeah, no point. And then if you take away wrestling and you just look at it as entertainment, who did that really entertain? You cannot tell. Sometimes we'll watch matches and we absolutely hate it, but there'll be other people on the other side of the world who will say it was good. Who can logically say anything good about that match?
Right.
Like,
you can't even rate it a star or anything like that.
Like,
nothing came of that match.
What is the point of it? Like, it's just filler. Like, I don't even think the Prince would have been happy. I mean, I don't want to talk about them people. Who have been doing that, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'm happy to move on, bro.
Yeah, the next match.
So yeah, the next one, I'm just gonna brush through. I really didn't care about this one. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. Roman Reigns won in the cage match.
How did he win?
So I actually wanted to see that because it was a cage match, but I didn't see it and I saw it spoiled up. But
yeah,
it must have been a good cage match though. Even though you've seen them wrestle so many times.
It was really weird. Right now I just remember the finish that. There was a chain that was somehow got taken into in there, and then Corbin was meant to try and go punch him. He got speared. Then Reigns got the chain wrapped around his arm. Superman punch with the chain. 1, 2, 3. That was it. It was by pinfall.
Who got the chain? How did the chain get it?
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember how it got in there.
Was it the chain that nobody put on the door?
I think it was. But I hate their feud. I just despise their feud. Even if it was in a Hell in a Cell, I would have skipped it. So I didn't really care for it. I just remember seeing the ending, and that was that. Other than that, I think it was quite a formulaic
match. Regular.
Yeah, pretty much.
The gimmick of it was a cage, but the cage didn't really play a part.
Not necessarily. Obviously, they get thrown into it and a couple of times, and the Reigns was trying to escape the cage instead of like actually going over, not going by the door. It was really weird. Like usually the face doesn't really do that. It's either they trying to grab the heel to come down, or like they're fighting on the top. You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
But
But
you don't
were
really
trying to escape, yeah.
Yeah, it was actually trying to escape instead of through the door, then he was trying to actually go over. It was really weird. But yeah, like I said, it was a whatever match. So yeah, you guys ain't missing much. Nothing, next to nothing on that one. Next one was Bayley against Naomi.
This match I actually watched.
Yeah, this one they actually had more character than compared to Natalia and Lacey Evans in the first ever match.
Were they able to be themselves? Like,
to a degree, yes. Yeah,
was one clearly the face, one clearly the heel?
Yeah. Bayley came out. Naomi came out to a pop, and
Bayley, she was still kind of, she had that little face thing because she was like smiling and like she was happy to be there. It was really weird.
Really?
It was kind of mixed.
Why? I get it with the skin stuff, and you got to dress a
certain way.
Yeah. Why can't I be a villain woman? Like,
no, she still came out in her villain way and whatnot, but she was more like, the Bayley, not the Bayley smile.
I know, but why? Why couldn't she just do what she would do on a normal?
Yeah, because on SmackDown she doesn't smile. She doesn't.
The men are allowed to be villains, right?
Yeah, they're allowed to do whatever. Yeah.
Come on, the perfect example of that is Lacey last year was a heel.
Yes.
And she's all like that. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like I said, outfit wise, put them in what you want. I get it. You can't respect the country in it. But what? I can't be villain because I'm a woman.
She was just walking down and she was, like that Vegeta grin, like a little side grin.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just kind of doing that. And when she stood on the turnbuckle, she was smiling, but it wasn't
cocky smile.
It wasn't cocky smile. It was just like she was here. Yeah, it was really, really weird.
Well,
the ending was kind of heel.
Did Naomi dance?
Yeah. She's still there. She still did a glow with feel the glow.
Really,
stuff.
all them splits and gyrating.
I don't think she did that.
I don't think she did that. No,
I think she was just a lot of jumping around did she slide? No, she didn't. She walked down the aisle, but she was all glowing and stuff like that. Everything. She's all the same and whatnot. I think did she have fireworks?
Yeah, she did. Yes, yeah, she did.
Last time I saw her, she had like a coronavirus box on her head or something like that.
The helmet.
Yeah, it was weird, man.
What the fuck? Okay, I've not seen that one. Okay.
But then the match was actually good. The finish was heel. So the finish was that she
actually took advantage of the because obviously they were all they were covered up in the shirts.
So she tied up Naomi's legs in her shirt and then hit that DDT thing that she does.
Sick.
Yeah, that was heelish. She actually took advantage of
taking the mick of the system. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very surprised you watched that match.
Barely, yeah. I was again on my phone and watching it at the same time, and then
as was I. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I watched the entrances and whatnot, but then the match pretty much was for me just playing in the background. But I did see more of this match than I did any of the other matches.
Yeah,
and like I said, this match was.
It was quite lengthy. It was 11 minutes, so
it wouldn't have won any awards in my book, but it was a good match.
Yeah. So that was the co-main, and if that's the case, then that only leaves one major match left. You know what time it is, guys? It is
time to go home.
Well, you will go home in about a minute 30 or however long that match was. So,
pretty much, yeah. 3 minutes and 8 seconds to be honest. So yeah.
I think new music is longer than that match. Like most music now is like what the average music back in our day was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
Now music is like 2 minutes long. So
pretty much. So, of course, we are talking about Goldberg versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, for the Universal Championship. Boy! This kind of riled up a few people, didn't it, on the internet? Okay.
Again, a situation that, one, what's the point? And two, nobody is happy about it.
No one!
It's like a thing where it was like so this match had potential to be great, I would say. This match, when I say great, I mean it just had potential to kind of, I guess, elevate The Fiend.
If The Fiend won.
Yeah, if The Fiend won,
This match would have had potential.
As soon as Goldberg challenged for the title, did you think there was a chance that The Fiend was going to win?
Yeah, I honestly thought that the whole reason why they're bringing Goldberg back was because it's a big name to build up The Fiend for whatever's going to happen at WrestleMania.
And The Fiend usually takes out legends. He's taken out Lawler, he's taken out Foley, he's taken out Kane, he's taken out some other legends. He's sticking at the beginning, especially. It was taking out legends. So Goldberg would have been a big legend.
Right.
But then as soon as we got news that they were reworking WrestleMania, everyone was faring the worst.
Oh, is that why? Because I remember the last time we spoke about it, you were like, the Fiend ain't winning, but is it because you got the news of WrestleMania?
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
See, I was completely in the dark about it. Like, I was that thing where, okay, I didn't even realize that Super Showdown was on. He was the one that reminded us or whatever. Like, he was like, oh, if you guys are thinking to watch Super Showdown, then you're not really missing much, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, I don't even remember it. I thought it was going to be on the day afterwards and whatnot. And then just at that point, I was on Instagram and I saw that they had like Goldberg holding the Universal title, and I was like, no, you can't be serious. And it looked like, but I didn't see the caption or anything like that. I just saw it said WWE, and then Goldberg was holding the belt, but he was like in that that kind of thing. So I'm thinking, was that him taunting that he was going to win? Because I didn't see the caption. I was just like, but then you was also like, oh, big spoiler or something like that. So I was like, okay, so it can't be that. I was like, I'll waiver anything else on the night, but it can't be that. And then when you watch the match, and it's like the first thing that he did was a spear, and then the Fiend kicks out straight away, and I was like, okay, good. And then then he hits like 3 more spears out of nowhere kind of thing, and then hits a suplex, not a jackhammer, a suplex. And then the Fiend stayed down, and I was like literally at that point, I was like, you know, it's like
I was making food at the time. My girl was upstairs, and as soon as I heard the 3 count, I was like, "Fuck's sake!" Like, and she was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I was like, "Goldberg won." And she was like, "Oh."
Yeah, for me, it literally was like a jump moment. Like, I'm just there, like watching it. It was just on like on my iPad and stuff like that. And I'm just there watching it, and yeah, like I said, like I saw him hit the suplex, and they're like, "Oh, the jackhammer!" I was like, "No, that kind of didn't look right." I was like,
"Something
"Probably do that
about him,
again."
man. He just can't hit those. He can't hit those over there. It's the altitude must be mad. It is just he just can't do it over there.
Bray didn't have any offense at all, did he?
No, he had 2 mandible claws.
Yeah.
During those spears, he did do a couple mandible claws, but
and then it was just like, yeah, he hit the jackhammer, and then when I heard the 3, and I'm just kind of sat there like, oh, and it was just like,
to the point where you're lost for words, my lord. That is, oh my goodness,
I've seen so many memes and so many anything to do with like with the fallout of from Showdown, but it was just kind of like I don't know who this pay-per-view benefited. I don't even know if the Saudi crowd were happy with that pay-per-view. If they were, then kudos to WWE for appeasing those people. No offense, but everyone else in the world was kind of like, what the fuck. And so
then the cancel WWE Network campaigns re-emerged. Freaking just everyone was just saying they're turning off. They're looking to cancel their tickets for WrestleMania and shit.
It's like at this point, what WrestleMania are we even paying for? Like, it's just like, what is going on? Nothing is happening, or anything that is happening is not what anyone has asked for or wants. Or
I mean, the only credible match right now is Edge versus Randy Orton. That's the only match that they are building up. Perfect. Like it's an awesome one. That could even be the main event. I would be totally happy for that being the main event of WrestleMania.
And I'll give you that. Like, because that one has it has story, it has interest, and because it's a thing where it's a returning legend, so it just has like a good fight or good atmosphere. It just makes for good writing, and again the writing's on the wall. It's all there. That match has just been laid out, but every other thing on the card, even the WWE title match, that was writings on the wall and pretty much like sold itself to us. But in the same breath, they have done nothing to, like, McIntyre wasn't even at this pay-per-view. Like, let's just put that into perspective. He is your WrestleMania guy that we're supposed to believe is gonna, give Lesnar a run for his money, and he was not even on this card. Like,
hell, he's not even in the Elimination Chamber right now, and that's tomorrow night. He's not even there.
Like, he's just not being used, but yet we're supposed to believe that this man is gonna like take the title from Lesnar. Like, fair enough, I'm happy it's not Reigns or anything like that, but then we'll get to that. But then it's like, there's just no build for that match. It's just that, okay, this match is happening because he won the Royal Rumble. That's it, kind of thing. And then, just the landscape of WrestleMania right now is just really, really crappy.
It is absolute. There's no hype. I'm not looking forward to it. Like I said, besides the Edge versus Orton match. Other than that, I'm so happy I'm not going this year to see it live. I would be absolutely disappointed. The whole thing with Goldberg, going back to that is I just don't understand it. it's just a poor excuse for them to have a big money match. Even though people kind of assume that it was going to be Reigns versus Fiend, and everyone kind of knows what the outcome would be, that would make sense because there's a build-up. There's fine, and Reigns hasn't been near the title picture until now. But the fact that they're just forcing this, and just because Goldberg is a big money name, and that would even piss off Bray Wyatt. That just shows what you're saying. I'm not a big money name either. Like, I just brought you one of the most interesting characters to your screens for a long time, and you're saying that I'm not good enough to fucking main event WrestleMania. Fuck you guys. Or what? What, you gonna give me John Cena? Part-time John Cena. The guy that fucking pretty much buried my old character a couple years back. Are you fucking kidding me?
Remind you, the last time Cena was on TV, he was buried by Undertaker. So, you know, it could be if they sold it as he needs to redeem himself, and he's chosen to go through the Fiend. I don't think that isn't even the build. It isn't the build that the Fiend chose John Cena.
Yeah, there's no build.
No fucking build. No fucking build. Oh God. What is wrong with you, motherfuckers? Before we carry on, what is your thoughts on that match, please? Can you please some sense?
Between spoilers and me just telling you, tell me because I don't care. I already knew what happened, and I went and watched the match because I wanted to see how it went down. I think you telling me what happened was longer.
Right.
It was pathetic, and yeah, from the start, it was just. I skipped the entrances and I just wanted to get right into it. Spear, I think the very first one was a spear.
Yes, it was.
And he
kicked out, cool. But then did it again or something. And then, there was the claw bit. But I think by that point, I think if I hadn't known the outcome, I think I would have thought Goldberg was winning. Because it just, they just made it look like, Bray's taking all these spears, but it's not having an effect on Goldberg either. And it just, I don't know, it just looked like, I didn't have a feeling. Maybe it's because I secretly knew, but I just didn't have a good feeling. I didn't feel comfortable watching it.
Yeah, me neither. Then, I was on edge, man. I was on edge.
And then Goldberg wins. And yes, was not a jackhammer at all. It was a lackluster suplex. Yeah. I don't know if that's
he used all his strength, boy. You could do.
I don't know if that's because. Well, I would say tired from a long, exhausting match. Not. Bray's a bit chubby. I don't know. But it was just it was dead. And then the bit at the end with Bray and then just. Again, what's the point? It
literally was about to have a tantrum. I got a feeling that wasn't meant to happen. Like he was pissed that he lost, and then it was just
it was meant to happen. It's just like why? Like I thought, would there be an attack or something? Man just disappeared, and then no follow up from it. It's just the same thing that happened to Kevin Owens. Like it's just like I've lost my title in an embarrassing way. But screw that, I'm going to move on to something else completely random. And it was just...
This was this year's Fastlane. That's what it was. It was exactly that.
At least as terrible as what happened with Kevin Owens. At least it's because he had the beef with Jericho. Mm-hmm. Which they also mishandled. But fine. The whole Cena thing, as big as that match may be, completely out of thin air.
It is. It's like... And again, it's like that thing of like, well, who asked for it?
Nobody!
It's like, okay, I understand that the way I'm kind of seeing this or the way I'm kind of... Okay, can we just assume that we're done to watch Showdown now?
I guess, sure, whatever. You're going
no, we're not going to give it a rating because no one watched it. Like, it just happened. But, so with WrestleMania, I feel like the whole landscape of last year was very much, they gave us what we wanted at the very last minute. So the build up to last year's Mania, am I alone in saying that I wasn't really feeling it?
It wasn't memorable, if that's what you're asking. I can't remember.
For last year's WrestleMania, I remember kind of looking at the card and thinking Last
year's WrestleMania?
Yeah, looking at the card initially.
Oh, wait. Kofi and Bryan, I was looking forward to that.
But
aside from that...
No, but in terms of the entire match card or just the entire WrestleMania feel, it's like, okay, WrestleMania is kind of coming up and I'm not really feeling it. But then towards the last minute, they kind of, that thing where they beefed everything up and it's like, okay, well, the women are going to main event. Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania.
The last few weeks,
it was like, okay, so all of this stuff was going on that was kind of getting everyone to that point. And then WrestleMania itself happened and it was like, you know what? This is actually it kind of surprised me that WrestleMania was actually kind of like good last year. But then this year, it's like you're looking at the card as it is now, or the kind of build up or anything, and it's just like, where do you really go from here? Like, there was so much potential, and I think it doesn't help that it's also that WWE are completely skipping the 2 pay-per-views in between. They're completely skipping the 2 pay-per-views in between because the Royal Rumble happens, and then they're like, okay, so the Royal Rumble has happened. We're now officially on the road to WrestleMania. So now everything that they're doing, or everything that they're talking about, is so WrestleMania focused. But yet there's 2 whole pay-per-views in between that we're supposed to care about, or they're supposed to matter.
Is there 2? Elimination Chamber and what?
Super Showdown. Yeah, those are the 2. Yeah.
So it was like, they're supposed to matter and they're supposed to care. But yeah, fair enough. Super Showdown can be. But then Super Showdown, you have to say
it has no effect on any.
But it did.
It did this time.
The Universal title
Goldberg and stuff.
And actually, not honestly, Crown Jewel had an effect as well because the Universal title changed hands then too.
Yeah. Now they are trying to actually put it in because when it first started, you're right. It was just complete random matches and all this kind of stuff.
When did the Universal title change?
The Fiend and Seth Rollins.
Oh
yeah, Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
That title was moved.
That's how it got to SmackDown.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So both times the Universal Championship has only been changed in Saudi Arabia.
Wow. Listen, I just think I think one of you touched on it and said that Goldberg's a big name. Yeah, it is. And, I won't even crap all over Cena and Bray because at the end of the day, Cena's still a big name.
Yeah.
That can still do favors for Bray if done right. So it's a random match, but can be very potential if it can have a good outcome if done right. I don't have faith that they will do it right. I think it's just going to be another suicide for Bray. But we'll see. I don't know. Because think about it. The Fiend puts Cena away. That's great.
Yeah.
That gives Cena time to do what he needs to do. That gives momentum to Bray. We almost forget about his loss to Goldberg. If Bray loses to Cena, I don't know what you do with this Fiend character.
Right.
Just destroy it.
I don't know.
Destroy it. Because right now, it's pretty much damaged. It's in tatters right now. It is in tatters. The aura is gone. I remember I did say, as soon as that guy loses, his aura is gone.
This is it.
But then we did have discussions where we said that does it matter who he loses to or how he loses?
Yes.
And then we said that, maybe he could probably come back if his thing was that he's built to lose to Reigns at WrestleMania, which was the foreseeable outcome here that, Bray would be the champion, Reigns is going to win the Chamber, they'll fight going into thingy, Reigns is going to overcome whatever, blah, blah, and he'll be the one that kind of overcomes, but then he might turn heel afterwards, something like that, whatever. Mm-hmm. There's something, there was still places to go with that and ways to change, and yet, they instead give us Goldberg.
My thing with that is that, Goldberg's a big name, but one, who asked for this match?
Yeah.
Now that it's here, who still wants it? Nobody. It's a flipping spear versus spear gimmick that they're going for, and we know Goldberg's not going to win. That doesn't. You know what? I'm not even one of the people who typically hate Roman Reigns, especially because he's been so away from the title picture and just away from wrestling for a while. Obviously with leukemia and everything. I think he could become champion, and people won't necessarily hate it because unlike before.
Well, no, I think this is the only way that he can be liked as being champion because no one wants Goldberg as champion.
Well, this is the thing, right? I think that now, around this time, let's say Goldberg wasn't in the picture. Let's just say it was anyone, Bray or whoever. Bray might be a bit different because I don't think anyone wanted Bray to lose to anybody. But I just think now, around this time, 2020, Roman can insert himself into the title picture and not be hated because he hasn't been shoved down our throats like he was before, right? And it would have been cool if he had a credible Mania match. But because it's Goldberg, it just ruins the match anyway. It's just going to taint the victory because when Roman does win, it's going to be like, it was him and Goldberg in the first place. It's just going to make something that could have been a really big comeback moment not special. In their minds, business-wise, they're thinking, Roman Reigns goes over Goldberg. No one thinks that's special. They think it's special because Goldberg is but it's not 1997.
Yeah, it's
not
1997 Goldberg.
You know what I mean? This is Crown Jewel Goldberg who flipping gunbucked his head on the flipping turnbuckle against Undertaker and almost died, and then needs to have a documentary showing him being in the gym every day to get back in shape for one match. Do you know what I mean? It's
so
just
true.
Against a full timer like Roman who can go with anybody. Come on, man. And then can you imagine if Goldberg wins?
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't think anything could save this match, but the only thing that can maybe make it work is one, we actually see Goldberg before WrestleMania and actually put him on SmackDown, and two, go with the crowd. People on SmackDown when Roman Reigns came to challenge him, people were booing Goldberg. Like it wasn't mixed reactions. He was getting booed. Make Goldberg heel. That will help with the Roman case that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
People will believe Roman. People will be behind Roman. Okay, when Roman won a few years ago against Drew McIntyre,
that was his last year.
Yeah, everybody cheered. As light as that match was, people still behind Drew. Nobody booed Roman. Fair enough, I know he came back, but still, that could be a situation. But I just don't. I think we're thinking too smart. I don't think WWE think like that. I think they're just gonna put two big sweaty men in the ring, and then that's it. Like, you know, let them slap me a bit, and then that's it. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Oh my god.
And then Goldberg's gonna disappear again for 2 years until he wants to come back to Saudi. And Roman's gonna be the champion in a lackluster way, which is gonna then make people bored of him. And then the Fiend is probably gonna get buried by Cena. It's just, I'm not hyped.
I just got.
Sorry.
It's true. No, it's totally.
That speech was longer than the main event. That's
Right, good lord.
I just really got to try my hardest and just keep in mind that I just think that WWE they will always cater to the kids, and because they have a short attention span and as long as they see their favorite people on the screen, they don't care how bad or good the logic is.
But you remember what it was like being a kid.
I know.
You telling me as a kid you'd be happy for that?
No.
I think as a kid I was smart enough to still smell the crap.
There's a difference between now and then. Like,
but then
we had better cartoons back then.
But then also, you can't even be like, oh, they're doing it for the kids, or they're just appeasing.
Kids don't care about Goldberg. Kids don't know who Goldberg is.
What child
Who's
knows
Goldberg?
who,
The only kid that knows Goldberg is his son. Like, come on, man.
It's like, the
God.
WWE kind of like, they're really struggling to just make new stars right now. Like, there's just like, you give someone a push and stuff, and I understand that right now, unfortunately, the current climate with anything, and this isn't just to do wrestling, this is just anything, everything is so fast and so quick. So like, you know, your 5 minutes of fame literally could just be a 5 minutes of fame or whatever. So, you know, like there was a time when everyone thought that Zack Ryder was going to go far, and look at how quick that died. Everyone thought, you know, who was another one that got a really big push or whatever? Oh, everyone thought that, what's his name? Everyone thought that Sin Cara was going to be the next big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Look at how quick that fizzled out.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, you know, fair enough, Mystical kept getting injured or whatever, but, you know, just as a character, everyone thought that was going to go far. It went nowhere. And then it's like, you know, everyone thought that...
Nathan Jones will go big.
Yeah, like there's just so many people who have like kind of come in, and you're like, okay, yeah, this person could do. Lars Sullivan, here's another example.
Oh
Everyone thinks
You
that,
go over it different ways, man.
everyone thinks that there's like things or people that are gonna like stand out or be something and whatnot, and then it's just like it just fizzles out. And I understand that because right now, the way the world is, we are very much okay. This is hot right now, and then then it's like, you know. I'm bored of it now, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised that even the Rusev, Lana and all of that storyline lasted as long as it did, because I was over that, like...
It was because of that YouTube view stuff. Like, for some reason, it was bad TV for us, but because it's car crash TV and people love especially in America, they love car crash reality TV stuff, that when you see the highlight, when you see that segment on their YouTube channel, it usually gets about 1 million plus views.
But even so, it's just like...
It did nothing for no one, because right now they completely forgotten about it. Like they dropped the ball.
And that's what they do. They just drop stuff.
Yeah. They dropped the ball.
It was hot for that particular moment, and now it's not hot, so we're not going to focus on it. And I get.
But they did that to themselves, though,
because by dropping it.
Yeah, by dropping it, because it wasn't like they kept on trying pushing it, and no one was. As soon as they started having matches, and then all of a sudden they were just like, okay, I guess we'll start subtly stopping it now, because they even said what?
Abruptly close.
Abruptly is it? Yeah, because everything was good just by segment wise, and as soon as Lana and Liv Morgan had a match, it was just all a dumpster fire afterwards.
But then see, Lana and Liv Morgan had that match just to reintroduce Ruby Riott.
Yeah, but they faced each other twice. No, is it twice or 3 times? Yeah, no, twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one was fine, and then the second one, yeah, sure, but. Yeah, you dropped that big bombshell that Liv Morgan's a lesbian, but they're not even acknowledging that. And then Lana's doing her own thing. Bobby Lashley's doing her own thing. And like Rusev is gone. Like there's no follow up. Like what's gonna happen now? Like you're right.
But then again, it's that thing of like, okay, then, but then because it was hot then and it's not hot now, like, does anyone actually care? It's like we're just bringing it up as an example, but it's like, does anyone actually care that it's gone? Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. So it's understandable that now, because things are just a matter of, okay, because that's hot right now, let's just go with this, and then when it's not hot, like, let's just not go. It's like right now, I can't think of anything that is hot in WWE right now.
No. Besides the Edge and Randy Orton thing.
Yeah, and even the Edge and Randy Orton thing, it's like
maybe
the only way to keep Edge and Randy Orton hot, in my opinion, I think, is to keep them away from each other.
Which
right now they're doing it.
I don't know how it's gonna, because now they've confirmed that Edge will be back next Monday on Raw after Elimination
little
Chamber.
interaction is alright. What probably happen is like they'll fake it and then Randy will go out of the ring or something like that to keep the momentum going. So I agree. I think Lesnar and Drew is hot. I think that's going well.
I don't think it is.
They're not pushing it like the main thing, like what you were alluding to before.
They're not building up Drew. Drew McIntyre may be as big of a superstar as he is in terms of, so he's the big guy and whatnot, and that, but then you still need to build him. Yes, he won the Royal Rumble, but then what has he done since?
He's taken out Brock Lesnar last Monday.
Yeah,
but then it's like
took out an MVP.
Let's just kind of like. Yeah, but then that's just kind of like, you need to kind of keep his ball rolling. Like,
I understand. Yeah, but especially at the pay-per-views, because like you said, it wasn't that Super Showdown. He's not built for the Elimination Chamber, and neither is Lesnar. So yeah, it's really weird. But I see what you mean to an extent.
Let me ask you this: the whole thing, because I watched it on YouTube, the thing with him and Lesnar.
Yeah.
Was that the last thing that happened on Raw?
No,
that was the last thing.
That was the beginning.
Okay, so placement is very, at least for me, that's important as well.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. You can do the exact same thing that you would have done at the end of the show in the middle, and it appears not as important because of the placement.
Yeah, I see.
If that closed out the show,
yeah,
Drew standing tall after taking out Lesnar, come on.
Yeah.
But if that's in the middle, you kind of think the most important thing is Edge and Orton, for example. And
I get that.
Was that segment the closing of Raw?
Yes, Edge and Orton was.
And I get it. Edge and Orton deserves that spot. It's hot, but going into WrestleMania of all pay-per-views, the main event thing should be the championship.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's Lesnar. You're lucky if he's even there, but he was there that night. You could have put that on last. Yeah. If you're making us so excited about Edge and Orton, rightfully so, but not as excited for Drew and Lesnar, or more so excited, then you're doing it wrong.
No, I get that.
But then also, in all honesty, I just genuinely think that the story, the nostalgia, the everything for Edge and Orton just kind of has more of a draw to it anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to compete with. It's
right.
That's why it would be believable to be the last match of Mania.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be.
It's like because it's
right now it's looking, because when it comes to Drew and Lesnar matches or the Lesnar feud, that's usually at the beginning of the show. I don't think I've really seen it being at the end. Though. Yeah, it'll be in the middle. So right now, Edge and Orton is, because that's the last segment. That would usually, I wouldn't be surprised if that's and it would make sense because it's Edge's return. It's the everything's natural, and they're doing big segments for it. Just RKO'd Beth Phoenix. It just reminds me of when Orton faced Triple H and he RKO'd Stephanie.
But see, he did two things.
But that Mania match wasn't.
Oh yeah,
I thought
they put themselves in the corner.
Yeah, I didn't dislike that match, but everybody else did. The general consensus is people crap all over that match.
Yeah.
See, my thing for
because they pinned themselves because they said he couldn't use any weapons, or they couldn't. Yeah, that was the stipulation that Triple H couldn't use any weapons. But because of that build up, you should have probably made that match a no holds barred, no DQ match. But there was a stipulation to that match, and that's why people. Because remember, he was looking to use a chair or something, or some kind of weapon, and Triple H just dropped it. But I think Randy Orton had the option to do it, but he didn't really do that much heel stuff, and then that's what made the match kind of crap, and it was the main event, so that's why the people crapped on it.
But I feel like that was the thing where it was just unfortunate for that match to close that WrestleMania.
Because they had Shawn Michaels and Taker, that too. That was a double down.
Anything that came after that match, because even the Triple Threat came after that match, and then the crowd was semi-hot for that match.
They were burned out.
Worn out.
They were burned out. Understandable.
So it's like it was just a matter of anything that came after that match on the card.
Yeah.
It's a draw, and it's the same with most WrestleManias. The weird thing is that there's always a middle match that will kind of just ruin.
Still the show.
Yeah, that was still the show. So I'm gonna say at WrestleMania with
Rock and Hogan.
Yeah, Rock and Hogan stole the show, so anything that came after that kind
That
of
was funny enough, Triple H and Chris Jericho did not work.
Everything just kind of fizzles to the end. WrestleMania 19 is an awkward one for me because I don't feel like what came on after Rock and Stone Cold, it was just the main event, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Kurt Angle versus Lesnar.
But then everyone was fine with that match. No one shits on that match.
Everyone was okay. Yeah, it was alright because Lesnar did the Super Shooting Star. So
and then I can't think of what middle match no match at 20. The main event was the best match on the card.
No, WrestleMania 20 had Taker and Kane.
But that was
Return of Kane.
But the best match.
The best match on the card was the main event.
The main event was a solid main event.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
21 was Batista and Triple H. That probably was.
No, that WrestleMania. I think it was Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle was probably the best match of the night, wrestling wise. But then in terms
not to
of
the point where people didn't like Batista and Triple H. No one complained about that.
Right.
So
Edge and Foley at 22. But then again, people still watch the main event. Triple H and Cena was probably the takeaway for that night. 23 was Batista and Taker maybe. Or
is there any other WrestleManias where the main event is forgotten because of a middle match?
Yes. So Shawn Michaels.
In more recent memory.
Shawn Michaels Undertaker. What was the match? So what WrestleMania after that one? After that one, I'm gonna say Triple H Undertaker because you completely forget about John Cena and The Miz.
100%. Yeah, that match was killer.
John Cena and The Miz went on last, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. But then all the matches that happened before that.
When The Rock was in it. That's what set up the once in a lifetime.
You don't remember it, but I get what you. Even though you remember it, it just didn't hit you like.
I felt bad for Miz. I felt bad for Miz.
I get you. Okay, another one.
It was a whole afterthought in that feud. Anyway, go on.
I'm not gonna say end of an era Hell in a Cell because Rock and Cena still stole that.
Yep. I was there for that one.
I'm not gonna say Punk and Lesnar because the Rock and Cena number 2 still held that one.
Punk and Lesnar, man.
Was it?
No, it was Punk and Taker.
Oh, so it was Triple H and Lesnar that one then.
Triple H and Lesnar,
So their matches still happen.
Yeah.
So which was the main event?
Rock and Cena.
Rock and Cena 2.
And what's the middle match there that you're talking about?
I was Triple
H and Lesnar. Okay,
I was using them as examples, but no, they didn't steal the show. I'm gonna say so we're gonna go into WrestleMania 30. I don't even remember. Lesnar and Undertaker stole the show. Once that match happened.
Well, obviously, everyone was in shock. Yeah, I remember that.
However,
I was there for that one.
That main event was still accepted.
It was still good.
Yeah, accepted, but everyone was kind of like just so shocked from Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
That was not the co-main event, but it was, I think there was.
I think that is an exception because it was just the outcome. The match wasn't better than the triple threat. I don't think.
Right, but the outcome kind of just ruined the rest of the match.
Yes, agreed.
Right, and then WrestleMania 31, Triple H and Sting was the takeaway. Even though that was Seth Rollins cash in.
If Seth didn't have that cash in. Maybe
then Triple H and Sting was the nostalgia act that everyone loved that night with the NWO versus
hated the ending, but
and then WrestleMania 32
was Triple H and Roman Reigns. That was the main.
But then
the middle was
Hell in a Cell,
Undertaker and Shane.
Undertaker
and Shane.
Women's Dual Threat was.
That was just not a great Mania altogether. I don't think.
It wasn't good. I hated it. That was a weak one for me.
33 was the Orlando one. Hardy's return. No, that wasn't the main event. The main event of that one was
Taker and Reigns.
Okay, that was just a bad match.
Yeah,
right.
But Hardy's return, yes.
But then that one didn't have a standout. It had a standout match, but then that was for me. That was AJ Styles and Shane. But that was the opening match.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That wasn't in the middle. That was at
the beginning. Yeah.
But then
34.
Yeah, 34.
34 was New Orleans, isn't it?
Yes.
For me, the standout match was the mixed tag team match.
That was a week.
That was the opening match, no?
No, that was a mid match.
Yes.
For me, that was a really good match. Everyone was into that match.
Angle and Ronda.
Angle and Ronda.
Oh yeah, I agree. Sorry, I thought he was talking about something else. Sorry, never mind. Yeah.
The mixed tag. That was the standout match. That night.
Yeah. What was the main event for that?
That was Lesnar and Reigns.
Number 2.
Okay. And Lesnar won. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
what? Oh yeah, and it's hard to even say main event now because you've got the closing match, but there's 2 main championships now. Because wasn't there a Mania where it was Goldberg and Lesnar for the Universal title?
Yeah, that was Orlando. That was the year before.
Yeah.
And then Lesnar won.
Kid won the title as well.
No, that was 30. That was the New Orleans one.
Was that the match you thought I was talking about?
Yeah.
Huh? Was that the match you thought I was talking about?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
No, it's a mixed tag match.
Yeah.
So
what about?
And then 35 was obviously last year, which was obviously
the mid card match was Kofi and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
So after that,
that's not mid card. That's the
middle main event, and then that's the one that anything that came after that, unfortunately, just fell through the cracks.
But that was also because there was too many fucking matches.
There was, but this one this year as well.
Exactly. I think last year we actually had 7 16 matches.
Something like that.
And this year is rumored to have around 14, 15. It's going to be a long fucking night.
They want 6 women's matches as well. That's what I've read.
Long! What is wrong with them?
So, assuming that the main event is, well, I suppose at this point it's hard to say what the main event. It could be Drew and Lesnar.
It could be driving Drew and Lesnar or Edge and Norton. I would hope it's Edge and Norton.
It's not going to be... Well, no. Do you know what? It could be Goldberg and Reigns.
No.
You're saying that because it's SmackDown, but if that was on Raw, it would be the main event on WrestleMania. 100%.
Yeah, because of course, that is
but
true.
That's
because
what they're trying to do. Like,
no, I get that.
I think if depending on the build, because I guess Reigns and Goldberg, I'm not gonna lie, that's more of a draw for me than it is Lesnar McIntyre. But then
is it because the writing's on the wall for that one? Most likely,
for Goldberg and Reigns.
No, for Lesnar and Drew.
No, for Lesnar and Drew, it's just that I don't really care for either one. Okay. I wanted Drew to win the Royal Rumble outside of Reigns winning or anything like that, and I'm happy for Drew to have won and finally get that push. But then, a Lesnar match is a Lesnar match nowadays, so just to put Drew McIntyre in that thing like that, I'm not really like...
It's not going to steal the show.
It's gonna be a
what would be great is the ending when Drew wins. We'll all be happy about it, but we're not... A year from now, we're not going to talk about how great the match was.
No, it's going to be a quick match.
And then it's the same way, even with Goldberg and Reigns, I'm not saying that match is going to be a show stealer or anything like that, but it's just that I think anyone will be happy to get the title off of Goldberg. So and so going into that match, it'll be the first time that I'm heavily supporting Roman Reigns and whatnot.
What's the chances of them actually going to try to go for the spear at the same time?
Oh, it's going to happen.
A double headbutt.
Yo, Goldberg would die.
Well, you never know. That could be the thing right there. Like the match starts and then straight away Reigns just spears him 1, 2, 3. It's like, okay, I will be here for that.
I think
same with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, didn't it? Like the bro kick straight away and then the pin.
Yeah, I just think both title matches are gonna be something they're gonna be weak. We're just gonna get through them and be there for the ending.
Which is really unfortunate that your main titles. This is how they treat their main titles.
Yeah,
like the main title. Yeah. There hasn't been I can't think of a match except for maybe the in recent times, I can't think of a title match, as in the Universal or the WWE title, that has had a lengthy or like a match that's kind of giving us the near falls, giving us the drama, giving us the
Well, it could have been Triple H and Orton because the feud for that was epic.
It was amazing.
No, I'm not even talking about WrestleMania. I'm talking about right now, currently. Yeah, with the belts and stuff like that. I can't think of the last kind of match that made me feel like that. Like Universal title match. Well, yeah, but then I'm...
Yeah, I don't think you can't not say that.
With that one, but then I'm saying, okay, so let's...
I'm talking about the match itself, not even the build. The match itself...
No, yeah, but okay, so when I say recently, I'm not talking about so within the last year or since that match.
Okay.
And what, I think of a title match that's kind of really made you feel like that. Like even Kofi's run was good, but then once he lost, it was almost kind of the title's back to 2-second matches, 3-minute matches. The Universal title... It was always being booked badly when it was on Seth.
And even with Kofi, no disrespect, but I think his best match was when he won. I think every match after.
Yeah,
they were great. Samoa Joe, Orton, great victories. But do you remember those matches?
No, I don't remember the matches.
Yeah. Or Ziggler.
And then it's the same with Seth Rollins. That when he had the Universal title, it's they might have been lengthy matches, but I couldn't tell you what he did in those matches. Were they memorable? Were they making me on the edge of my seat? Was I really gunning for those matches?
People he had against was what? Corbin.
That was it.
Corbin and Fiend. When you think about it, he had a very lengthy one with Corbin.
And then obviously that's what he got cashed in on, and then he had his match against Lesnar.
Oh yeah, Lesnar.
Even that match was. He had a match against Strowman.
Oh yeah.
The match that
they were tag team.
So Seth Rollins gets pinned in a tag team match from one DDT, and then still has to go and defend his title and win. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. But what's it called with it's their main championship. It's it's meant to be the main titles on both shows, and yet they're not I know what I mean, but I don't know if it's coming off as
they're not being treated as the main thing.
Yeah, look at how I'm on the edge of my seat for the NXT title matches. And I'm just who was gonna win? What was the last one? It was Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm there watching that I could go for either one of these two.
Yeah.
Near fall after near fall. There's all this drama. There's all this and I was they might give it to Ciampa, but I'm like, no, but Adam Cole can't lose because that would mean that Undisputed Era has been wiped out for that entire pay-per-view. And it's no, he's not gonna lose. But I was but he might lose.
I think it's by design because even when you look at AEW, as great as Jericho and Moxley was, you probably weren't as hype as for that as you were with Young Bucks and Hangman Page and Omega. Or, do you know what I mean? It's almost like the main event is supposed to be this big important match, but not as hype or fast or whatever. So I don't know if
that's what I said about because Jericho is not as speedy as them guys. Or, you know, it's going to be a very slow. Yeah, as he used to be. So it's going to be of a slow pace. So you expect that kind of match from him. So that's why he's probably not as hyped. So obviously with Moxley, it's going to be a totally different fucking story. He's not going to be doing the flippy doodahs and stuff, but he's going to be more crazier and more innovative than Jericho. So that's why he's probably not as hyped. But not to say nothing to take away from Jericho because his promos and all the segments that he was in, it was just beautiful. The Le Champion. The way he's reinvented himself. I've never seen a wrestler reinvent himself so many times, and he's always had memorable moments in those every time he reinvents himself.
And it always takes off as well.
Sorry?
It always takes off or gets over.
It always takes off.
Never flopped.
When he did the suit and tie thing, the flashy jacket, and then the Spike Paymaker thing.
The list. The list.
The list.
What's your favorite Jericho era?
Oh no, boy, this is a good one.
Favorite Jericho era.
I've got mine, but I'm gonna.
For me, it's the any time Jericho was in the blue. So kind of like what we just saw here, the blue.
Yeah.
That Jericho for me was my all-time favorite.
But even with the blue, there was a point where he was still old face Jericho, and then the heel where he changed his look and he started teaming up.
Okay, so I'm gonna say undisputed Jericho right up until before he returned.
From heel basically.
Yeah.
From when he turned heel in 2001. Okay, cool. You? Heel in 2001. That's very interesting. Okay.
I've always loved Chris Jericho. Like, I used to like the whole Y2J countdown thing, and then when it turned to the blue one, and then Rhino scored him through the title drop, which caused SmackDown to change to the fist. It's like I've just always been a fan of Chris Jericho, and then when he won the undisputed title, I loved. It was like although he was bad and he was being made or forced down our throats to hate him, and because he was being the cocky champion, but yet I was still so pro Jericho.
Yeah,
I was just like, yeah, I love me some Chris Jericho. Like, yes, Jericho. And then when he went to Raw, I was so upset because I'm a SmackDown guy.
I remember that though. His music was playing, but he didn't show up. And Ric Flair was in the ring. Took the dirtiest steel chair shot to the head.
Right.
Jericho's on Raw.
Like, yeah, and it was like, oh, no.
I would say my one is I don't know what era it was, but definitely when he started his feud with Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
WrestleMania 19.
Yeah,
that's after.
That's my
when he lost the title. When he lost the undisputed title.
It was still Jericho.
Yeah. That one, and obviously when he first started the suit and tie stuff because
he was using all them long words.
Yeah, I'm sick of you sycophants and all this stuff, and then he had the feuds with CM Punk.
Short hair.
Yeah, short hair.
It's the best in the world at what I do.
Yes, yeah. He in his feuds with CM Punk and I can't
so many.
But yeah, that in between that was for me. That was his best time. Obviously, the list of Jericho.
I was gonna say him and Owens. That era was pretty good as well.
That was ideal. But I think definitely most memorable. I could definitely always go back to when he first smashed Shawn Michaels' face into the screen and just watched that. And he punched Rebecca, his wife, in the face. That whole story.
Referenced that on Dynamite, one of these Dynamites, because he's punched a woman.
Oh, is he? I missed that. Okay.
I didn't see that.
So my favorite Jericho moment. They're all great, but I mean, I have to go back to me when I first was watching wrestling and growing up. Like, it was essentially the mid-card era when he was face. So when he had the old entrance with the countdown, all right, and then the first half of the blue entrance when he was still face.
Right.
So when he used to let his hair hang and he had the normal beard, when his feuding with Benoit.
With that tag team title, TLC 4.
Yeah, but even before they teamed, when Benoit was here, they'd always face each other.
Okay.
So early 2001, late 2000s, right up until the time where he turned heel. How did he turn heel again?
He won the title.
No, because he turned heel before that. He was heel before.
Well, he was like...
no. He turned heel when he started beef with The Rock. Because he was like still a face, but Rock was the bigger face.
Yeah.
And then it was Survivor Series, the alliance ended, and then somehow he turned into.
No, but he was still face-ish, and then
tweener.
but then the thing is that when he got to the vengeance bin, it was like, okay, so no, because it was quite a while after that.
Yeah,
and
no. Up until when he won the title, prior to that point, he was full-fledged heel. I remember that because it was him, Angle, Rock. They were all. He was heel. But I'm just trying to remember the exact point where.
So after that Survivor Series, was there a vengeance straight away? Because I remember there was a year where there was vengeance twice.
Yeah,
Rock.
There was,
okay.
There was,
you remember that? So there was a vengeance when John Cena.
I started probably shortly after that. Yeah, fully. So I didn't know about.
I think his real heel turn was when he.
Because
he kept teasing about turning. I was gonna say do the SummerSlam one though.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, one where Jericho died because of Goldberg.
Oh, 2003 Elimination Chamber.
Oh, that was SummerSlam.
Oh,
yes,
SummerSlam.
you're right. Yes, you're right.
Second one was that SummerSlam.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, from back in the day when he used to wear those jerseys like Y2J ice hockey.
Oh
jerseys, all the way up.
Yes.
Like his hair was sick like that. To me, theme music, everything was. But he was like Dolph Ziggler. He was the guy that you wanted to root for that never quite got it. To this day, I'm still annoyed that. I'm happy that he won the Undisputed title, but it would have been cool for him to have that moment while he was still a babyface.
He did.
He never really got that. His biggest moment, what? When he beat Triple H and they reversed the decision.
Yeah.
That pop,
you know that pop.
But that's what I'm saying. That is it's like they tested it. That's evidence that it could have worked. Can you imagine? He could have been up there with The Rock and Austin. He was literally the third person to me.
So yeah, going back to around that time. So obviously we're not talking about Showdown anymore. And then obviously what happened on Raw and SmackDown. Obviously your best friends, the Street Profits on Raw.
How did they win?
Basically it was the right again was on the fucking wall. So basically what they did was I think it was the first match that was on Raw, and they kept on the commentator or the ring announcer kept on saying this is a now or never match. If the Street Profits don't win, they will not get the tag team champ. They will not have a chance at a title shot at tag team titles ever again, or some shit like that.
Or whilst Buddy
I assume so. Yeah. But the commentators just kept saying it again. This is the now or never chance, even though it's the only second time. Fucking, it's not like they had numerous matches. It was a bit rushed. And then the huge clues were obviously that, and everyone in the crowd had red cups. You know the red cup thing. Usually when they give them props, the crowd props. Usually that's the writers on the wall for who's gonna win. So yeah, they were doing that, and then obviously Buddy and Murphy and Seth came out along with AOP. That was standing by the ramp, and then there was back and forth. Then AOP was about to start interfering to the match. The ref stopped them. They got ejected out of the match, and then whilst they were getting ejected, Kevin Owens came out, and then Stone Cold Stunnered Seth Rollins. Then the skinny one, Street Profit Montez. He went and did the massive frog splash. 1, 2, 3 on Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Seth Rollins
took the fall. Interesting.
Yeah, they got a huge pop. Yeah. I think it was in New York, wasn't it? I think it was.
I don't.
Yes, it was, because SmackDown was in Buffalo. Usually they're in the same similar states. So yeah, that was at Barclays or something. That was in New York. So obviously I think they're New York guys. I can't remember. And then they got a huge pop. And then it worked. It was whatever. Just put on Buddy and Thingy was random in its own anyway, really. So yeah. And then what else happened? Obviously the thing was Randy Orton and Beth. Pretty much the highlight of the night. Oh no, that wasn't the highlight of the night. Eric Rowan.
It's like a giant spider.
A giant spider after all this time was in the little pen thing. But then again, what did you expect?
A giant. Was it that he was holding a toy, or was it?
It was a fake ass spider. It was fake. It was a fake toy spider. What else was you going? What was you expecting? A severed head?
Probably that would have been more like something.
It would have been something. But again, this is maybe in TV 14 era, not in the PG era. I would have loved for it to be a human head.
Giant spider though.
But it was a giant toy.
So what does that achieve for anyone?
Fuck all. Spider. After all this time, after people's reaction, every time they look at it, they're screaming in horror and all this stuff, and then.
I mean, yeah, everyone is scared of spiders.
I know, but it was just like, what's wrong with you? Oh, it was. I don't know. It was absolutely. They're better off just disregarding the whole thing. But I'm glad it's all over now. Yeah, it's just absolute bullshit.
Yeah, I don't watch Raw, so I wouldn't.
Understandable, yeah. I mean, it's oh shit! I didn't know you did that.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that. They booked this Elimination Chamber so bad, so bad.
They booked it badly.
Why did Triple H win it? Wait, is this the one that he wins?
Yeah.
They
attacked
Remember?
Goldberg. Evolution all come in and they attacked Goldberg and then Triple H won.
Yeah, that was it.
I told you this was while SmackDown was doing what they were doing. This was the Triple H show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
3 years straight. It was just mainly about Triple H and keeping the title around him.
But mind you, by keeping that title on Triple H, they did legitimize that World Heavyweight title. It became like a big belt. Like,
oh yeah, it was relevant. Yeah, it was relevant.
Like unfortunately, right now, as much as they want to equalize the WWE and Universal title, as you say, is whatever title's on Raw is the belt to kind of care for.
Yeah, very much so. But and then what happened was, I think we talked about SmackDown, didn't we?
A gauntlet match or something like that, and then, Bailey and Sasha Banks won clean for no reason. Dolph Ziggler's with Mandy Rose. I don't even know. Like, see, it's so hard to kind of like. I sit here as a wrestling fan, and it's like I want to enjoy watching wrestling. And what are you giving me to watch?
Yeah, absolute garbage. The thing with because I think Otis was meant to have a Valentine's Day date with my bae Mandy Rose, and then apparently he got a text saying that she was running late, but apparently she was waiting for him, like actually there, and so I got a feeling that it's obviously something that Dolph Ziggler's doing, and then obviously he went to have a date with her instead. So they're kind of like a manager, best friend item right now. It's fucking weird.
I don't get
it. And yeah, so yeah. Then the gauntlet match happened again. The tag team champions still don't have a win. I'm just like, you just won the titles and you've lost clean twice. And you expect me for them you expect me to think that they're going to fucking win that Elimination Chamber when it doesn't really make sense. Who's coming in last? It's Rude and Ziggler, isn't it? Yeah.
Didn't Heavy Machinery do the Kofi Kingston thing and go?
Yeah, they were running right for all of them.
And then
they might win. You never know. Maybe Miz and Morrison get eliminated early, and maybe the sweet moment is Otis pinning Ziggler.
But then what would that achieve for Miz and Morrison, who just won the belt?
Nothing. It's just a transition, isn't it? Because you can't have Heavy Machinery beat New Day, two faces. So it's their transitional heel. And I get what you're saying. It does hurt them, but they are almost like the cowardish heels anyway. So if they're gonna play that role, they're playing it great. Do you know what I mean? They're the cocky guys.
Oh my god! Look at where Miz was last year, going into WrestleMania. Look at where he is now. Like, this is my thing. It's just like,
yeah. No.
Last year he was like fair enough mid card, but he was feuding with Shane. He was like credible. He was like someone we cared about. This year he's involved in a tag team picture. Like no one cares. Like legit, and it's so unfortunate for him, but.
I don't know. You're supposed to care about the tag teams.
You are, but you just don't. Yeah. For some reason, WWE, they just don't matter. It's like they do, but they don't.
They have tag teams out there, but they just use them off. Just ask the Revival. Just ask the Revival. And it's to the point where they just, because they are not signing their contracts, they're not featured on TV anymore. That's why you don't see them. So they're just running down their contracts. And then, you're probably going to see them in AEW, pretty much. They're looking to claim their trademark. They're trademarking their things right now. So, that's pretty much huge clue. But anyway.
Trademarking their moves.
Like, their catchphrases like fists. What do they use? We don't fly, just fists. So, some of the catchphrases and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty much in the works now. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So, let's speed round through the actual pretty much supposed to be the best pay-per-view of the year right now so far.
Right.
And that is NXT TakeOver.
Oh my god, Triple H in tights. Sorry. Sorry, that was just like very kind of like, I remember he was doing this briefly wearing tights.
I remember that, yeah. NXT TakeOver in Portland. All I can say is, hot damn, what a fucking pay-per-view.
This is like the first pay-per-view NXT as a whole, just any brand, whether it be NXT, whether it be WWE, whether it be like AEW. This is the first pay-per-view I can honestly sit here and say there was not a single bad match on the card.
Not a single one.
Like every match was great, every match fit, every match had things happen that mattered. Like, I mean, okay, I can question the main event because I didn't understand the Gargano involvement.
I was a bit conflicted on that. I understand.
I can question that and be like, did it make sense? Is it what was the reason for that? Because I didn't watch the unfortunate thing is I didn't watch the NXTs prior, so I went into TakeOver just as
there was nothing between them. There was no confliction or anything, so it was definitely out of nowhere. But I just got a feeling that they were just trying to obviously just milk the cow while it's still.
But then Gargano and Ciampa, I thought that they kind of they squashed.
Yeah, they did because they just had a match at Worlds Collide as DIY and they won. There was no iffy things, so it was definitely out of the blue. But I think they just wanted to just flip the script because now Gargano's the heel and Trump is the face. Before it was the other way around.
Yeah, I think that's what it was as well.
I think that's
I think for me, just like you, I hadn't watched any of the NXTs prior, and as you know, I don't really watch NXT as much as I probably should. Admittedly, don't hit me, but I haven't really watched many takeovers before. And when I have, it's because maybe you guys have told me to watch it, or maybe I've watched some of it while it's on live, but I haven't. From start to finish, this is the first time I've watched a takeover within 24 hours of it airing, or 48 hours. Watched it from start to finish, didn't know any of the results, and genuinely sat down and watched it as a fan. And I can say from literal start to literal end, epic. I mean, the first match,
Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic.
I mean, beautiful.
Blood fire!
How do you pronounce his name?
Dijakovic.
That name is gonna go.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't.
They block it out in this one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They blocked it in this one. I never forget that.
He fell on his ass.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, great match. Two big guys.
Dijakovic.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, his name did get removed eventually. You know that. Like
Dominic.
Two big guys moving around like they should not be.
They should be cruiserweights.
Right?
And again, almost AEW-ish with the whole near falls. A lot of near falls. Yeah. Not overkill. And it was believable. Yes. It wasn't like, oh, come on, man. That would not. It was believable. You were invested, and you would have been happy, whatever the outcome.
Right.
Yes, win or lose. Like, it was an epic match.
The front flip, the precision. When Dominic Dijakovic front flipped into Keith Lee while he was sitting down.
That could have gone hurt. The space was maybe bad.
In between the commentators. Oh my goodness.
So many moments. What does he call that? Spirit bomb? Or what? What's it called?
I think it's a spirit bomb, yeah.
The bounce. Like, ridiculous. And then, no, didn't he bounce and then pop?
Yes, he got up, he rolled, he was like, what, nigga?
Beautiful. That, like, if we get that, this is my point. I get it, NXT is its own brand, and that's kind of their thing to do special things like that. But no shade to NXT, but if we're getting that on NXT, we should be getting that on Raw SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly.
That's formula. Yeah, let's not even call it developmental anymore. Let's just call it the newest brand. Mm-hmm. If your newest brand is doing that, your certified brands, established brands should always be doing that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have the newbie show take over. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cool. But I don't know. But it was epic. And then that's just, look how hype we're talking. It's just the first match we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
What other matches were there?
The next match was the street fight between Dakota Kai and
listen.
I see that. So with this match, when I saw the build up to the match, because they did the little promo to build up,
and that was epic as well.
Mm-hmm. But then for me, I did that thing where it was like, so because the WWE fan in me knows, okay, so the first match of the night was hot, like that was hot. So that meant that this match, unfortunately, was gonna get. The filler spot because
crowd worn out.
Yeah, the crowd already worn out. So this match is everyone's gonna kind of get back into it. But from the very get go, it was like she interrupted her entrance. They're like fighting in the crowd. Didn't they do like some kind of a suplex on the barricade that made it fall or something like that? Or
something like that. Yeah.
And then it's just like they just did a whole bunch of shit in that match that was just like wow, like okay. And then they did a headshot in it.
Yes.
She put her up and down and then slapped her head with the thing. I was like,
Listen, when she smacked her in the face with that,
I was like,
it wasn't even because, you know what? You're right. It was a headshot that they don't typically do anymore. But
Right.
It wasn't even that. It was just full face smash.
Right. It was like she just propped her up there. Get the hands.
Even if it didn't, because sometimes them signs are just foil. Like it might not have actually hurt, but it just looked.
It just
legit.
it's just like pick her up.
Yeah, epic match.
The ending was a bit like
obviously the boss table, man.
Unfortunate. But I mean,
I blame the newbie for that though. Yeah. That woman could have thrown her into the middle.
Maybe, but you know, now they've got a potential new star to build as well. You've got a new star out of that. The next match, if I was to, you know what, there's nothing to critique, but if I was to say,
what was the next match though?
The next match is Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano.
Oh,
so every match was good, but if I was to rate matches, that would be the one that I think almost every other match was probably better than.
Yeah, 100%.
Does it like that? So, for example, that match could still be epic. It just means the other matches were more
100%.
epic.
This is your least favorite of the night.
Yeah, and
I agree.
Again, nothing bad to say, just in comparison, just purely in comparison. And I think it's just because I think I expected more knowing that these two were facing. And then really it was probably a bit of a slow burner. It was a lot more technical than I thought it would be.
Oh yeah, very true.
So it was a slow match, but a good wrestling match. But I think because of the basis of NXT TakeOver that night, it was really the only wrestling technical match. Maybe the main event a little bit, but that was a very slow-paced match for me.
Yeah.
So considering who it's involving.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And considering the other matches on the night. So, but it was still a great match.
100%.
We have Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Again, epic. I love Bianca Belair's entrance with Black History.
I told you she was going to win. I told you.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I said that there was potential.
Yeah.
So my thing with that one was I didn't say necessarily that Rhea Ripley was going to lose. I was just like, you know, if at any point they're going to pull the trigger on Bianca Belair, it would have made sense, like writings on the walls that have done it now, because the way the fans are going on, it's like Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair are hot stuff, and then if you just add Charlotte to that mix, now it's
a weird one, because it wouldn't have been too soon for her, because I think she would have been believable as in Bianca, but it would have been too soon for Rhea Ripley to lose.
Too soon for Rhea Ripley to lose. And I'll just say it right now, like, even though they're both hot, but Rhea Ripley at Mania is more believable than Bianca Belair now. At the
100%. If it was Bianca and Charlotte at WrestleMania, I think Charlotte was winning.
I think it'll be too soon. So
she would deserve the spot, Bianca, but she wouldn't capitalize on it. I don't think they would let.
But I still think that even at this point, because of that match and the outcome of the match, it was like they still had Charlotte come out and. Like she came out and she attacked Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Said that she'll see because she's going to WrestleMania, but she then attacked Bianca Belair. Fair enough. After that, Bianca Belair called her out, and then they had their match on NXT, which again you saw Charlotte write Bianca Belair typically out of the feud. But then it's like there's still space for Bianca Belair to come back because she's still involved.
Yeah, they could. But do you think they're going to do another triple threat again?
Well, they might again.
Mania. They did it last year.
Yeah, but then last year it was just a thing of like last year it was one to have both titles and two because for some reason they just felt that Charlotte needed to be involved.
Actually, they've done triple threats about 3 times, ain't they? They did it at Mania.
They did it
at
32, at 33. It was a fatal 4-way and the 6-man challenge, and then at the one after that it was 2 singles matches. Charlotte, Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax.
Yeah. Fair
and
enough,
the one after that it was triple threat.
Okay, yeah. So they've done quite a few. So I don't know if they would actually do it again. It's possible. I mean, I'm not discrediting Belair at all, but the way that they were even building that before, when Rhea Ripley just randomly came out on Raw and then she said, "I'll fight you at Mania with but that was before Charlotte even obviously announced that she was doing that guessing game thing. Mm-hmm. So like it was, and that was before TakeOver. So the writing was on the wall that she was going to definitely face.
Kind of like how the writing on the wall is now with Becca and Baszler or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Then I have a beef with this feud because for me that feud was laid out to us for what we're gonna get. But again, WWE are just like literally dancing around everything.
That's what they do.
That's not
because they need to fill out pay-per-views. They need to give everyone a payday.
But then they're still not. It's not.
And they need to give us that little tiny bit of hope that they might swerve us.
Yeah,
which they might do. They've done that before. But we might have flipping Sarah Logan win.
And then you think that it's going to be Sarah Logan?
Maybe there will be a riot after that.
Maybe. You never know.
Sarah Logan.
It's like the whole thing is like, you know, you have Baszler debut on Raw, and then she debuts by biting a chunk out of Becky Lynch. I guess that's the whole thing.
I'm hungry.
That's her thing. She bites Becky Lynch, and then now Becky Lynch is out for blood. So the next week, Becky Lynch is like, you know, she threw money down and says that, you know, this is how much she's paying for her fine for whatever she does to Baszler, blah, blah, blah. And you have Baszler like swear on TV and whatnot. So you create this hot feud between these two. And then I think in the contract signing for Elimination Chamber, didn't them two have a moment? Like they were like fighting or something like that. So you created this feud or this buzz that, okay, it's going to be Becky Lynch and Baszler. So why is this Chamber match still happening?
It should have just been a chamber match the same way, but Becky should have been it and the title should have been in it.
Yeah, and then or
that way.
Or I said that the chamber match at Thingy should have just been for the SmackDown women because they haven't got anything going on right now.
No, exactly. Yeah, you're right. The only way they could salvage this is if, like, I think I told you earlier that, yeah, Shayna Baszler comes in at number 1 and she just decimates everyone and wins. So she is like a force to be reckoned with.
There is that, and
yeah, that's another. That's what would.
Obviously, they'll bury everyone, but
yeah, you're gonna bury your main roster stars for this girl on NXT.
Well,
but she's not an NXT superstar, was she?
No,
even if she's not, she's been on Raw for 2 minutes, and you're gonna bury like all these.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But then you can say that about Charlotte. She buried the Bella Twins and all of them people in 2 minutes.
It's weird going back to what we said about NXT because this Raw, when she came out on a Raw debut, they still had the NXT banner when she came out. So it's fucking weird.
And it takes me back to kind of very different but very similar what you said about Ricochet, about how, okay, he loses to Lesnar, right? So if someone else who's like a Ricochet has a lengthier match with Lesnar or even beats Lesnar, what does that say about Ricochet? So now you've got all these women on the roster who are main event rosters, been on the main roster for time, won titles, You've got this woman from NXT who either outshines them or beats them. What does that say about them?
But then in the same breath, when you're looking at the Elimination Chamber itself, you've only got 2 potentials in there that could go. Oh, sorry, yeah, you would say you've got 3 potentials, but
it should be treated as anybody. We should look at it as anybody.
Yeah, but you've got 3 potentials in there, but then you know for a fact that he's not going to WrestleMania. So the 2 potentials in there are Asuka or Baszler, but then Asuka's just lost twice already. So then the only other option is Baszler because the Riot Squad are doing their own thing right now.
Why Asuka? Huh? I wouldn't look at Asuka as any more believable as anyone else because she's a tag team champion. So I would think.
But then Asuka is still Asuka. Like she's still technically was the main event slot at the Royal Rumble, and then she's like, you know, she's still like of a superstar. They've somebody built her back up to kind of be credible. So if you
but then they haven't built Natty down, for example.
But then that is
a random one. She could be a sacrifice. Yeah. But then again, going back to Asuka, like she's currently injured right now, so this would be a good chance to obviously switch over. Obviously, most likely probably going to be Kairi Sane. But if they actually, if anything, they could probably put someone else in there.
Isn't Ruby?
Like Ruby's in it.
Ruby's in it.
So that's another person who's. I know you're thinking she's not the big star, but she's just come back.
But in the Riot Squad, I think that the plan might be for them to have the Riot Squad triple threat. You're like Randy Orton Legacy triple threat at WrestleMania now.
Okay.
Because I think it might be a Riot Squad triple threat.
I'm just saying that if they didn't go with the Kairi Sane route, then that would be a good chance to probably bring someone back, and someone that has been gone for a while but is due to come back would be Nia Jax.
But even so, like, I'm not paying for Becky Lynch, Nia Jax.
Well, they still did they ever conclude the whole thing about
the nose
taking her out? I know she beat her up backstage randomly.
Yeah,
but they never had.
I don't think they did.
They never did. But then in the same breath, although that is also another writings on the wall moment, it's just kind of a like, okay, so
let's too much time, right?
No, if you piece it together, kind of thing. It's just like, who wants Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax? And then of all the people that Becky Lynch has gone through in this year, I'm gonna believe that Nia Jax, who has lost to Bayley and people like that, is gonna be the one to dethrone Becky Lynch. So it's just like, you know, like,
or if they can throw enough money in her way, put in Ronda Rousey.
But is she injured still?
No, she's not injured. She's just too busy.
She injured her fingers.
Yeah, that was months ago.
Yeah, but is that fully healed though?
I think because she was just the other day. She was at the WWE headquarters with Cain Velasquez. So they're obviously planning something, and she was at the HQ. I don't know what it was for, but yeah, if you want to look into that, it could be possibly that.
I still would like to see a one-on-one match between Ronda and Becky.
Yeah, that's overdue. Oh, jeez, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it would be like good, and we are.
It would make sense. It would be the perfect circle. And then,
but then you know that unless what you think that Ronda Rousey is gonna like her first match back is gonna be Elimination Chamber, and then what she's gonna go through Baszler.
Why not?
That'd be
I mean,
believable. It'd be
yeah.
more believable than the other way around for me. If Ronda's in the match and Baszler's in the match, Baszler ain't going over.
Yeah.
But then I'd like it to be that. So
Who's
every
Baszler, bro?
all the other, I'd rather it be.
I can't even say her name properly.
If that was going to be the case, then I'd rather it be that it comes down to them two as the final two, and then them. Because remember there used to be.
Ain't they like friends? Ain't they like
Yeah, they're part of
stable or
four horsewomen.
But
MMA's version.
But then look at like all the four horsewomen in general, like how many times they've had feuds. Becky and Charlotte are meant to be the main two. They are constantly feuding.
Yeah.
But then it's like, so if it got to the point where it was like, you know, remember a time in the Elimination Chamber, the final two would literally have like their own 10-15 minute match in the chamber. So it's like,
Brian had it.
yeah, so it'd be interesting if it did come down to them final two, then let them have like a general match to put them both over, you know? So like, you know, Baszler's giving just as good as she's getting kind of thing, and it's almost going to be Baszler winning, but then no, Ronda Rousey can hit that armbar or whatever, blah, blah. But then that's just like fantasy booking, like, you know.
Yeah, we were talking about TakeOver, I think.
Yeah, talking about that, yeah.
That was Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. The next one is the Bruiserweights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne.
The Broserweights.
Oh, what did I say?
The Bruiserweights.
Bruiserweight is but Bruiserweight is what.
That's Pete Dunne. But obviously, Matt Riddle's his bro.
Bro.
So that was Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne versus the Undisputed Era.
Yes.
Again, don't know too much about NXT because I don't watch it religiously, but I remember despising Matt Riddle. I just didn't like his character. I thought he was a drug addict. I just thought
that's his thing though. His gimmick is that's why he got kicked out of MMA, right?
Nah, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't like him. Yeah, and I didn't like the fact that in real life, that he's a cocky prick. Like, he step up to these people that would destroy him in real life. Say, I'll fight you, bro. Like, it's just, I don't like it. I'm not here for it. It's dead. But I grew to like him in this match. He did very well.
Changed
in
your
this
perception.
match.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
like,
I feel like I was so disappointed with the winners.
What?
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted
the winners first.
Undisputed Era to win.
We'll get to the winners, but just as a tag team match.
Oh yeah.
Again, that was the type of match I'd expect to see on AEW. That was a
was
very back and forth match. All four people did very well. The consensus that I'm getting is the Undisputed Era have all been champions for a while. They're the top guys. They're the evolution of today, or whatever.
Yeah.
And now, slowly, bit by bit. I mean, didn't one of them lose the North
Roderick,
American title?
Yeah,
Roderick
Strong, yeah.
And then now these guys, which made you think Adam Cole possibly was going to lose later, which we'll talk about. But solid match. Again, wasn't unhappy with them losing or winning. Like I thought it was a good match.
See, I wanted Undisputed Era to win. Kind of like how I felt at some Survivor Series when Undisputed Era lost. But you know,
love doing that.
I was just here for I wanted Undisputed Era to win. I'm not gonna say like the match was bad just because they lost, but I wanted them to win. So
fair enough. I guess because of the match quality, I didn't really mind them winning. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, because the last people that won the Dusty Rhodes Classic, they didn't win the title, so it just makes sense for them to change it up
to win it.
Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
No, there has to be one.
Side note, isn't this another example of two individuals being randomly put?
Yeah, that's what they usually do in Dusty Rhodes Classic. It's random ones.
These guys, bro.
Yeah.
They were totally did not.
Pete Dunne is the former UK title, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just didn't know they were teaming up in the Dusty Classic.
Aleister Black and Ricochet. That was last year. Aleister Black and Ricochet.
And who did they? When did they have a title match?
At TakeOver in New York before and they faced the Viking Raiders and they lost. I was there. They were doing that thing where like it was EC3, Lacey Evans, Ricochet, Aleister Black.
Oh yeah. They were just appearing on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, random. And then before they made their full-time main roster debut.
Right.
And then they.
I didn't even. Oh, wow.
So when I'd see them team on the main roster, I just thought, okay, well, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Because of that. Oh yeah, because they were just teaming up in the. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. It all makes so much more sense now. Got you.
But then that was I still enjoyed that match. And then the main event was
Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole.
Love JR, man. This was his prime.
He doesn't.
He doesn't go. No. I don't think he can do it.
But then also it's like AEW ain't doing anything.
But it's funny though. Like his best promo was when MJF low blow Cody. He was like, "You little bastard! What did you do that for?" Yeah. So your thoughts quickly on the Adam Cole Tommaso Ciampa just to wrap it up.
I liked this match. I didn't 100% get the ending. It seemed out of nowhere, but then I think we touched on this earlier where you said that you felt it was just kind of to prompt that, okay, there's a Gargano and Ciampa are going to have another or another little era or another little mix up and stuff. So yeah, there's potential for that and stuff. I mean, I haven't seen NXT. Sure, I have, but I've only been focusing on the women because I wanted to see if they were going to add Belair to the match.
Yeah.
But but I haven't really been focusing up in terms of like the men and what they're doing. So I have no idea if anything's changed.
I haven't really seen it too much either. I've just seen like little bits of it. Obviously, well, not involving them, just other things like Velveteen Dream returning and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen other stuff. But regarding Tommaso and Gargano, I assume there's a match already announced for TakeOver Tampa.
Have they even been like in?
No, the only thing that's officially announced for Tampa, and I actually know this, is there's one woman in the women's ladder match.
Oh yeah,
yes, Dakota Kai,
Chelsea Green.
This pissed me off.
Nice.
That's the only thing officially, because when I don't know why I was looking for it. I think it was to do with me writing my story,
okay.
I was looking at and said Tampa Bay. That's literally the only thing there. What's her name?
Chelsea Green.
It's Chelsea Green. That's it. Okay, I thought it was Dakota Kai.
Versus a whole lot of.
She does the Umbrella for a finisher, innit?
Yeah, there was one that I remember. I saw one episode where it looked like it was a botch from the person that was receiving it, and it was like a reverse. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she did it backwards.
Yeah,
that's happened before with Christian. I think.
Oh, was it?
It looks like the other person's doing the move.
No, so basically, you know how like the Umbrella is. So you grab me like that, I turn, and I end up like that, and then fall forward. Yeah. But then she did it to the person. But then it's like, so basically, it would have been.
She was like facing upwards like that.
Oh, I would have been like that or something like that. As I fall and then you fall, it's like we're both falling like that.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
Weird. But now she does it as an actual Umbrella, like she'll sit down.
Yeah. It was really weird, but this was a dirty one. Boom.
Should have flipped over.
Yeah, I think meant to. There we go.
One of the vilest things I've seen Triple H do with Sledgehammer is smack the back of Vince McMahon's head.
And it cracked in it, and he's like, and it
because if you ever were gonna worry about someone reenacting something, that would kill somebody.
I thought he was gonna say the one where he did to Shawn Michaels after their street fight.
Oh no, that one was tame because that was more effect of Triple H jumping because he went like bam. So the effect.
But it was no protection. It was just like right on his back. Like it was dirty.
That was mad as well.
When I saw that when I was that young, I couldn't believe it. I never forget when it was. I think they were showing it on like late nights, or like it was a replay of that. And then as soon as it was about to happen, it just blurred it. Like usually you go to the crowd, it just faded to black commercial. They did over to show that again on the replays. It was so bad. But
no one even made the save for Goldberg, did they?
No one saves him.
And where was Batista in this? Was he injured?
Yeah. Injured or not?
Still injured. Yeah.
He wasn't in the Titantron video.
Because he does when he does return, he takes out Goldberg, doesn't he? Because they put a hit out on Goldberg. It was a bounty.
And he broke his ankle or something.
Yes.
So Goldberg was still injured by this point. Okay.
I mean, Batista was injured.
So yeah,
he was injured, but I don't even know if he'd officially on screen joined Evolution yet. I can't remember because
the Randy Orton Batista stuff was early, even before this. But then when Randy Orton returned, he was a part of this, and they had the Evolution theme and stuff. But then
maybe I misunderstood it on the documentary. So when they teamed up against the Dudleys, they were put together, but they weren't Evolution.
No.
They were just testing the waters.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was just a random tag match.
Yes.
But then this is the thing. I couldn't tell you what episode of Raw that was. I wanted to watch that match.
Never seen it.
I wanted to. I think maybe it might have been like a dark match or something.
I think I watched it on YouTube after that documentary to see when the injuries happened, but I can't remember what I searched. It probably was Raw.
Yeah, it has to be a Raw. I don't think it was a dark match. I think it was just something that was just forgotten because I never remember. I don't remember seeing that. But yeah, again we're going off a tangent. So yeah, your thoughts on Adam Cole Ciampa? Have you seen your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a great match. Again, similar to the Finn Gargano match in terms of it was slower than everything else, but it was very.
It built up nicely.
Yeah, built up nicely. That's the thing. It was a slow build, but when it got there, it got there.
Yeah.
And it did look like, because on top of the fact that Ciampa was just doing excellently, and it was a bad day for Undisputed Era. It was believable that Ciampa was going to win. The Gargano thing was very random, but if you do then look back at history, they could have just stopped where they stopped and just
100%.
carried on. I don't think they needed to drag it on, but it is a different dynamic with one being face, one being heel. I don't think it's that different to the point where it's, oh my god, I'm here for this again. But at the end of the day, even though it might be at a point where it's like, oh, again, because they're so great, it will still be.
It would still be amazing, 110%. Yeah, it was just so out of the blue. And the fact that he just came back from a heel turn and he went face. I'm talking about Gargano.
And then Gargano was heel before.
He was a heel. After he lost the title. I can't remember who he feuded with. My mind's gone blank.
Adam Cole.
What? Why? I thought Adam Cole has always been heel. He wasn't a heel then. He wasn't a heel. He was facing Cole.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Gargano didn't he go heel
after he faced Cole?
Right.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But I can't remember who was feuding with whilst he was a heel. That's what I can't remember. Sorry?
Was it Velveteen?
No, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but it was just because it was so recent, and then he started turning face again, and then he teamed up again with DIY, and then obviously just a quick change again. So it was a bit weird, but because it was just literally a couple weeks ago they were at Worlds Collide, and they had a great match, by the way, when they had a reunion with him and Ciampa, and there was no disputes, there was no like miscommunication or anything like that. So that's why it was just so random for him to just turn on him after a big, good get together. But yeah, I'm still here for it because, like you said, they put on 10 out of 10 matches. And yeah, it should be going to be awesome, especially when it's WrestleMania weekend. They're going to put in 110%. And yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. So out of all the pay-per-views, I assume that it's quite unanimous that TakeOver was pretty much the strongest one. So yeah, just quickly, let's just go through the match card and what our predictions will be. Obviously, do not delve into.
This happening tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah.
As of this filming, Elimination Chamber is tomorrow night.
Yep. Okay, I should have had this. Okay, so right now there's only 7 matches announced.
Only.
So only 7 matches. So the first one is Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. This was announced at SmackDown last night.
Well, he challenged him. I didn't know he accepted. Well, usually.
Drew Gulak obviously does that PowerPoint thing saying like, "Oh, I found all your weaknesses and all this stuff," and then Daniel Bryan just showed up backstage was like, "If you know my weaknesses, why don't you prove it to me at the Elimination Chamber?" That was it. So, so yeah, Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. What are your predictions, guys?
So
Drew Gulak will win.
Drew's not gonna win. I don't think Drew's gonna win. This is a filler match. It's just a match for Daniel. So storyline wise, status wise, it's completely dead. But I think they will give us a real good wrestling match. Yeah, I think
you can always trust Daniel Bryan to do that.
No. I'm not even giving it just to Daniel. I think Drew is. I think from what he did on 205 and stuff, he is a very good technician. I think they will both. It will be like back in the day, Regal, Finlay. It will be like. Yeah. I think it will be one of those filler matches. Even Cesaro does it nowadays. Cesaro has a random filler match at pay-per-view, but it's better than most of the stuff in the card. That will be an excellent match. Story-wise, it means nothing, but in terms of just sitting back and watching wrestling or wrestling, that would be good.
So it will be the Aleister Black Murphy of
100%. That would be an epic match.
Because that was a good match as well.
Okay, fair enough. My prediction would definitely be Daniel Bryan.
So I'm the only one that's Drew Gulak here. Okay.
Pretty much. So somehow obviously Daniel Bryan is having fun with this. He wants to. You did say he wants to work with all the upcoming young stars and stuff. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind putting them over if that was the case. But it just wouldn't surprise me if Drew Gulak will say, "Oh yeah, I knew he was gonna do that. I'm just gonna dodge it and stuff," and then Daniel Bryan just pulls out something from out the bag. And just makes Drew Gulak tap most likely. So next one is Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo, which is most likely going to, it is for the United States Championship, but it's most likely going to be on the kickoff show.
Again, will be another good wrestling match.
I'm so over Andrade.
I get it. I know it's kind of been done, but just like we said about Johnny Gargano and Ciampa, even when something's overly done. If it involves two greats, it will be a good wrestling match. Even AJ.
I'm just not here for Humberto, whatever his name is. I'm just not here for him.
With his reggaeton tune, boy.
I was gonna say, even we use AJ and Shinsuke as an example. They overdid it. It got to a point where it's like, but they are still good wrestlers, so we will still watch. Same thing with
But then I like Shinsuke and I like AJ, so it's like...
Forget about the Humberto character. Are you telling me you don't like his in-ring ability?
I just...
He's up there with Andrade.
They're 50-50. He is, but I like Andrade.
Hopefully
I don't care for him. I don't care for him, but yeah. I've even seen him live. I saw him when they did the SmackDown tapings on 205 and he did that weird flip over the ropes or whatever. And it's like I saw him then, and it's just like, yeah, in ring you're good, but I just don't care for him. And they can try to shove him down my throat as much as they want. I just don't care for him. I don't.
Okay.
And I've tried. I just do not care for him. But okay, that guy. Humberto, I just call him that for now.
Yeah, it probably will be like eventually. So yeah, he's not gonna win the United States Championship. Like,
but you never
it's
know,
crazy they're giving so many chances to this guy, but then again, obviously Andrade is a bit in the doghouse right now because obviously he just come back from a wellness policy.
I wouldn't be surprised if he loses.
It wouldn't surprise me if he loses, but it wouldn't surprise me if he wins either.
We'll say this: if this match is not on the kickoff show, then Andrade is gonna lose.
Okay.
No titles have changed hands on the kickoff show before.
They have, but then I feel like kickoff
in fact,
show...
this is the perfect type of match that the title will change hands on the kickoff show because no one cares about it.
But then I feel like of all the matches and stuff like that, of all the matches that I can see, you would probably put Drew and Daniel Bryan on the kickoff show. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That will be kickoff. Drew and Daniel will be
Bryan won't be on the kickoff show.
AJ Styles was in the kickoff against Cedric, so it's possible.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, one of those two, if not both of them, will be on there. I don't know.
No, there's no way that those chamber matches are going to be that long. It's still a big old 4-hour event, so.
Right now, they just really do not care about this pay-per-view. I've never seen WWE so unorganized. When it's so close to their biggest pay-per-view of the year, it is
one of
so...
their biggest pay-per-views. But they were this unorganized. They were this unorganized going into Hell in a Cell. They only advertised 2 matches for that entire event, and that was just Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and The Fiend and Seth Rollins. Every other match kind of just happened.
Back onto the Elimination Chamber match again on Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. The other match is Aleister Black versus AJ Styles in a no disqualification match.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I would like to say that I hope that Aleister Black wins.
Obviously, yeah. That's
Didn't he suffer his first loss on Raw? Didn't AJ pin him?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He
After a Volume match. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
His first loss, isn't it?
But then,
after his little push, yeah.
Yeah, but then technically it's his first loss, but then it wasn't a one-on-one match with AJ. Didn't he do something before that?
He did Gauntlet, so it was him against Carl Anderson. They pinned him. Him against Luke Gallows. He pinned him, and then he just took advantage of the scraps in it, and then he lost. So effectively, I guess
you can't kind of be like, oh, like
this was a badass entrance though, and then he just flings the other one. Yeah, bad man, yes sir.
I feel like I was the only one that actually liked that design of the WWE belt. Everyone seems to hate that design.
It does look cartoonish.
As now.
But
remember they said champion at the bottom. That's the one that the Rock it has champion over across it. I'm not sure about that one.
I don't mind that. I like it.
I don't mind it, but it's
Yeah, last one.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
ever since they changed the logo, that's when they completely just overhauled it again.
Mm. But then you got alright, so okay, let's get into this. So
yeah,
AJ Styles, Aleister Black.
That should be decent. That would be good, obviously.
It will be epic.
If it's no DQ, then I'm gonna assume the hot spot here might be Undertaker might turn up.
Exactly. Yep.
But he's not pegged to. I haven't read any bleachers or anything like that. So if you read the bleachers tomorrow and they say that Undertaker's been spotted in wherever it is, then it's
most likely, if not, then all you're gonna hear is the gong.
Yeah,
and then some special effects, and then Aleister Black. Yeah, most likely mind games.
But AJ is winning, I think. I'd love for Aleister to win.
But then if Undertaker's going to turn up,
then it will be Aleister.
That Aleister's going to win.
Yeah.
But I think if Undertaker shows up, it's not going to be drawing a match. Undertaker doesn't really cost people matches. Like
his
the person wins the match, and then Undertaker sends his message after the match or whatever. That's what I think.
Oh, it could be that too. But then again, I feel like to build AJ Styles to go against Undertaker, they don't need to sacrifice Aleister Black.
Yeah.
There's many other people that they could sacrifice for that, and Aleister Black was hot So to kind of feed him to AJ Styles right now, it doesn't do anything for AJ Styles. AJ Styles is always going to be hot. Do you know what I mean?
What would be cool, which they would never do, is maybe include Alistair and align Alistair with the Undertaker. They've both got that.
But then, what would you say Alistair Black's character is? 'Cause I don't even know. Like I was having this conversation with my brother because we was trying to explain. Because basically we was watching. What was we watching? I think we was watching I'm gonna say TakeOver or something like that. And because he comes up on the board.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then he walks out with candles and it says his name in the
looks badass.
The Dutch whatever, when it says his name, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So me and my brother were watching that and stuff, and my mom is like questioning like, so what's this guy's like thing? What's his character? And then me and my brother were like, we don't actually know. He's just like a dark guy or something from like Amsterdam. Like I don't actually know what his character is. Like what is it?
I'm gonna assume that if he did have more of a character, it's probably more in NXT. And then when you get to the main roster, they'll let you still have the entrance and stuff, but he's not. It's a bit stripped down. It's
stripped down because for a brief time he just kept saying, "I want to pick a fight," all that kind of stuff backstage.
How dark was he on NXT in regards to his entrance and the coffin and the character?
He didn't. It was definitely less talk, more action.
Right.
He was definitely. That's how intimidating it was. Like he could just kick your head off and stuff, and he didn't do that many promos.
He didn't have a gimmick.
Not really.
But then it's like his fighting style is very kind of, I'm gonna say strong style because it's very like
100%.
He's very like
agile but strong style.
Yeah, he does all the kicks and stuff like that, and then he does like he can do flips and stuff. But in the same breath, it's like, well, what is his character like? What does he do? What doesn't he do? It's like you don't quite get it.
This is funny because the show that I told you about, he's hosting it.
Oh wow, is it? It's a Coulter.
Yeah, but his name is Dutch Mantel. Real life. That was
the people. But yeah, so it's like Alistair Black's character is not kind of set in stone as to who he is or what he is. So to align him with Undertaker, it's like, well, Alistair Black's not really necessarily a dark, mystical person. He's just the kind of there. But then he has all the smoke and the coffee.
He can be the modern day Undertaker, no doubt. He can 100% be the modern day Undertaker. So good brave, but look at this. Yeah, he's a lost cause right now.
Well, anyway.
But yeah, next one is your best friends.
What's this one say?
So the next one, that one says is the Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Murphy.
Wait, so hold on. So the Street Profits have to give them a rematch, but the Street Profits, had they have lost, they wouldn't have got another shot. Does that make sense? And also, why are Murphy and Rollins getting rematches when we're in the era where rematches aren't a thing?
White privilege. Now, joking. I'm playing.
Maybe they just issued the challenge.
They didn't though. I think he was just announced on Instagram that at Chamber they're gonna get a rematch. Yeah, but why?
No, he actually announced it in the backstage segment. Like I want our rematch, and then once we get those back, I'm gonna settle my grievances with Kevin Owens. So that's what I'm saying. Most likely, obviously, Street Profits are gonna win, obviously. And then Kevin Owens is going to interfere in some capacity, and it's going to be Seth Rollins versus
Seth at Mania.
Yes,
I'll be for that. That could be like a good.
That would be a good start up to the event.
It'll be a great match, but they both deserve more.
Yeah, but then it's that thing where when you get the WrestleMania matches where there's not necessarily anything really happening. Oh, I know what I mean, but like, okay, so you know how like at WrestleMania 27. One of the big takeaway matches was Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio and whatnot. So like those kind of matches. So Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio. I'm gonna say CM Punk versus Orton and Seth. Which one's that? Oh yeah, Orton and Seth at 33 or
Punk and Orton.
Huh?
Punk and Orton. I think that's what you were gonna say.
Oh no, I was gonna say Punk and Rey Mysterio.
That wasn't that Mania, was it?
It was. Remember Rey Mysterio had the Avatar outfit.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was Extreme Rules. But they have a rematch at Extreme Rules.
I think the rematch was Extreme Rules. The first match was at Mania. It's that one when Rey Mysterio went to do his dive off the ropes.
But I get what you're saying. There's these matches that aren't supposed to be big, or they're just kind of there, but they end up
being like really good matches. Yeah. So that's what the Seth and Kevin Owens match could be. I mean, that's what I think. AJ and Orton was meant to be last year, but the crowd shut on the match because you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
On TV, it was a great match.
Yeah. So I still have yet to see that back because I have.
But this is the thing, like I don't even think it was a good match on TV because all we could hear was you guys' displeasure.
Yeah.
So
we can't see.
You guys shout on that match, so therefore we're at home trying to watch this match that could potentially have been match of the night, and you're just
and people are booing at certain points. You're just it must be awkward for y'all.
It really was. That's my takeaway from that match. It's like, you know, I can't. So when I look back at that pay-per-view, it's like I can't comment on that match because I just remember I couldn't really enjoy it because to watch it, all it was just the fans' displeasure.
And the crowd, that does come. You think you touched on this earlier? Like if the crowd aren't into it,
you kind of
dims the match. Were you messaging us?
I was. Yeah, it was. I was like,
we can't see. Like the light's really bright, and I was like, oh, is that what they're saying? Like.
Because on TV, we were like, why are people booing? Like,
it was just like you guys were booing at random points. You guys were doing this chance that we can just about hear because, you know, it's that thing because it was an open plan.
Yes.
So then when you guys talk, it just rises.
When
we finally hear it, it's like we'll hear like the people down here who were saying it, but then we can also hear people up there saying it. So it's like it's all flooding. It's just noise. And then eventually, when the lights did turn off, or whenever they turned off, we heard all you guys cheering.
Yes.
But was that during the match? Or
that was during the match because they kept on fucking around with it because it was like so they turn it off, then they put it back on again. And then it's like they were playing with the crowd.
That's why you was like cheering at points and
booing at points, and then by the time they actually fixed it, the match was fucking over, and it was just pissed us off. It was just like, what the hell? But then I don't know if I told you. Obviously, Randy Orton made a joke about it as well.
He's like,
here's another shirt in case you missed it.
That
and
one.
It's like lights.
and then it was on SmackDown. I think he RKO'd AJ next night on SmackDown, and he was just like, he was walking up the ramp. He's like, I can't see, man. It was just like, where's it? It was funny. It was funny. But yeah, that's that match going on.
Sorry, predictions, right?
Yeah, predictions. Sorry, my bad.
Street Profits will win.
Yeah, Street Profits.
Okay, so hold on.
I don't talk about it. I addressed it last time. Like, why am I wasting breath for this?
He's not like the sucking and jiving
they're not good.
The Street Profits. He's not a fan.
He's not a fan of the fucking Ultimate Warrior thing on the ropes and shit.
What, you guys are?
I don't dislike them.
I just don't like Dawkins.
Huh?
You tolerate them.
I really dislike gimmicked black superstars. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, I still like to see black superstars being used.
But I don't think that is bad. Prime Time was definitely gimmicked. 100%
because Prime Time was
you can't really use it then.
Huh? Good? No, but Crime Time were like, you know, when you take a really bad stereotype and you just kind of make it.
They gave them dog food and they made gold. That's
But then the thing is that Crime Time were being like portrayed as like the thugs and stuff like that. So basically, I feel like now, or especially in this kind of era that we are now, if Crime Time is sort of thing on the indie scene, if Crime Time were in WWE, I don't think that would fly. I think it would like.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't fly now. Hell no. This era now, everyone's fucking sensitive,
it, man.
I mean, we'd be here for it because we know who they were, but then
backlash.
people would be like, no, because they
came out at the right time. They came out at the right time.
Whereas at Street Profits right now, it's like if Street Profits were as into it as Private Party were on AEW. Yes. So if Street Profits were like that in WWE, people complain because you're kind of associating the party lifestyle and stuff like that. Like there's connotations there, which we already have as negative connotations. So to put black people in that thing, it's just kind of but then Street Profits kind of don't do that as much now. It's just more of them just being the loud, obnoxious black people.
He walks around with a red cup.
He does.
You can't get no more black than that, man. It's a black house party. And when he does this, am I the only one who thinks of lean? Like, come on. Like, I feel that he knows that it looks like lean, but I think he thinks the producers are not urban enough to clock, and that's why he gets away with it.
Yeah.
That is lean. He's talking about mixing cough medicine, cough syrup, his drugs.
Right.
It's true.
I don't know, man.
But in the same
and then you get this. That's
fair loud.
Fair enough.
The loud black people. Yep. But in the same breath, like I say, I just like seeing black superstars being used.
Yeah, of course. In the grand scheme of things, I'm for that. Like, you know, no shade against other races, but we're black. So,
yeah, exactly.
About shit about other races, bro. Like, we want the black people to shine. That's it. I'm rooting for everyone black.
Fair enough. And then the next match is the first Elimination Chamber match, one of the two for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and that consists of The Miz and John Morrison, who have yet to win a match since claiming the titles. Does that make sense to you? I thought not.
It's only been like 2 weeks. The space between the two.
It's been 1 week.
Yeah, it's like
Showdown was last week, wasn't it? No,
Yeah.
no, 2 weeks ago.
between Showdown and Chamber, there's no time. Like,
But yeah, there's no time. But the first loss did not make any fucking sense.
no.
So like
It was against the New Day.
No, it was against the Usos.
Oh, that's still a thing.
Yeah, that's still a thing. That's still a thing.
Okay.
You got
No, I
different.
thought like the Usos were going through something right now, wasn't?
No, they came back over.
Ever since they came back with the Reigns with the bloodline shit, yeah, they haven't.
So they're still there.
I think since then they were either off again or just weren't
They were
wrestling again.
Yeah, they were just assisting Reigns with the Corbin thing, like they intercepted in that match at Rumble and all that stuff. Yeah, so
Right.
yeah, so yeah, they're still around, and now they're getting another push again. In that match that they lost, that the Miz and Morrison lost, they got Canadian destroyed from the top turnbuckle, which I must say, is it me or is the Canadian destroyer the most overused move?
I could have said this to
of
you
all
2
time?
years ago. When you're all like NXT. What did I say to you? I said this to you about 2 years ago, bro. Like all these flipperty moves
It's
and
more
Canadian
prominent
destroyer.
now.
No, it's the
Everything-
same thing, man.
And now including AEW is
I said the same thing, and all of you were like, "Wow, what's this guy talking about?"
No. See, because the thing is that like, okay, so basically in WWE,
Yeah.
the thing is that the only person that technically was doing the move was Adam Cole with the Panama Sunrise. Right?
Yeah.
He was the only person doing the move, but everyone else does variations of it. So like, it's more in WWE known as like a sunset.
Yeah, when they
That's
do
what
it,
is.
it's more like a powerbomb landing. Rey Mysterio. Was
Yeah. You don't land on your head, you just land like on your back or whatnot. So like Alexa Bliss was doing it. People do like variations of it.
Yeah.
But then it's like
Cena.
yeah, but then it's like for some reason it's like within the last I want to say year, it was like Rey Mysterio kind of brought it on the main roster.
Yeah,
So
against Andrade
Yeah,
and
he was
stuff.
doing it on Andrade, and then now kind of just like everyone's just doing it.
Everyone's doing it. The Hurricanrana spike thing where the reverse Frankensteiner kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where, to do that. There's like you said. There's the AEW doing it. NXT are doing it. Then I saw the Usos do it from the top rope. And now.
But see, Bailey was the first one to do it in WWE though.
Who?
Bailey was the first one to do it in WWE.
Raw. Okay.
Yeah, Sasha Banks when she did the reverse run off the ropes. Sasha Banks at TakeOver.
Oh, okay.
That's how she won the match.
Ah, right, fair. After watch it, I completely forgot about that. But and then all of a sudden, Rey Mysterio is doing it. All of a sudden,
I think Rey Mysterio was doing it before in his first run though.
Yeah. Like it was like he was one of
okay.
his moves, but then it's like if you're just going to talk about like recent times, like a lot of these moves that are kind of just like meant to be like lifetime moves, everyone does
it's
it now.
just overused.
But even the
And
Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly is definitely overused.
Yeah, that used to be very.
We got to do another section on that next time. We got the most overused moves or something because it is there's been quite a few, but the Canadian Destroyers is starting to lose its nostalgia, and even the guy that invented the move, Petey Williams from TNA, he's just like, I am so sorry, guys. This was not part. It was meant to be. I don't know why there's a huge surge in people doing it, but.
He actually said that.
He actually said it on Twitter. He's like, "I'm so."
Everyone's doing it now. So
Everyone's doing it now, and I remember when it was specific to like TNA. Like anytime it happened when he did it, it was a special moment. But
right.
But yeah, I digress. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, the tag team opponents are the Miz and Morrison versus the New Day versus the Usos versus Heavy Machinery versus Lucha House Party. You remember them? Versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert.
Why the hell are Lucha House Party in there?
Because they run out of options.
I'm 99% sure that they secretly went over to SmackDown. They were
Lucha House Party.
They were Raw superstars.
I think they probably were.
But then when it says Lucha House Party, does it say who?
Yeah, Nistorado and Grand Metalik.
Wait, where the hell's Kalisto? Oh my god, okay.
Anyways, so random.
Why the hell are they in there?
They were in a gauntlet match.
Yeah, they were.
No, but I'm thinking like, just
what other tag teams are there though?
On SmackDown, there has to be another tag team.
See,
like,
but you're scrambling it, so there's none. There's no other one.
No, because we just had a whole conversation a moment ago.
There's the Revival, but they're fucked.
Oh yeah. But we were just having that whole conversation. Oh no, maybe that's who I'm thinking about then. Because I'm thinking like, I was just saying that the rosters are lousy with tag teams right now. So of people who are on SmackDown, Maybe the Revival were the only other ones, but then because they're like not there, maybe it has to be.
The only other teams would have been someone like Shinsuke and Cesaro or Apollo and
which we'll get to.
Like all these weird.
But then they're not teams.
Exactly. There's no. I can't think of any other. There might be one, but like what, Epico and Primo? Like,
no, but then Primo's technically suspended because of the wellness thing, innit?
That must be done now, isn't it?
They never said suspended for about 3 years.
they never said that they resolved his one, so.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there's no actual list with them. But like you said, there's no one else. Obviously there would have been the Hardy Boys, but obviously that's done now. So yeah, it would just be the Revival. There's no one else. So yeah, when you think about it,
and if the Revival weren't going through something now, it probably would have been them instead of Lucha House Party.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, most likely the Revival.
Well, maybe because they need to have a balance of heels and faces. So maybe Revival wouldn't have been because they've already got
1, 2,
how many heels are they?
3,
Miz Morrison.
4. So
It's
1.
already quite heel heavy, man.
2 heels.
Oh, is it not? Oh, it's face heavy.
Yeah, it's face heavy. Look, 1.
New Day, Usos, and
Heavy Machinery and Lucha House Party.
Although I think face heavy is not bad. It's when it's heel heavy that's bad.
Yeah. So if the Revival would have been a good balance, but yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. So your predictions
for that match. I mean,
Miz and Morrison.
Common sense wise, it would have to be Miz and Morrison. If they lose, then that's when burial starts. That's when you can say, how have you treated these guys? Yeah. They have to win, and I think it will be even more of a victory, and that's why I think it's smart. We're complaining, saying how can they have not won a match, but that's how you win. They lose, and then they win when it matters. Do you know what I mean? And I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
It was a shame that New Day lost to them in the first place. I think that was a bit of a
via Kofi Kingston as well.
Yeah, premature loss. There could be I mean, look, if New Day win again, that would be great. If Usos win again, that would be great. Even Heavy Machinery, after that Gauntlet match presentation, I mean, great. But really,
I think that'll be the last two.
Machinery. I'm reading up behind.
I don't care. I hate it.
I don't care for them, but looking at it, if I take away my personal feelings and just look at his character building and seeing what they did on SmackDown, it makes sense to push them. But I just think it's too early to hurt Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
If Miz and Morrison did get eliminated, it would be cool to have it down to Heavy Machinery and Ziggler and Rude.
Because storyline wise, yeah.
But nah, Miz and Morrison, I'll actually be disappointed if they lose.
Yeah, 100%. My money is on the Miz and Morrison, even though it was just random to put him on them in the first place.
It'll probably come down to Miz and Morrison and Heavy Machinery.
Yes, I would say so. And then somehow Ziggler intercepts or some madness. Because this right now, this only benefits the Ziggler and the Otis storyline right now.
I don't know. I think that's even over. I think that's because Otis was like, I'm moving on, screw it.
Was it?
Yeah, I didn't click it, but that's what I got from the title.
Yeah, all she did, because he went to apologize to Mandy, and she was just like, nah, not having it, and she walked off, and he was just like...
No, but there was another video of Tucker, and it said Otis ready to move on, and then they had that great performance in the Gauntlet match, so...
Okay, alright, fair enough.
But I don't know.
Fair enough.
This is low. It's not even mid-card feud. This is like low-card.
Yeah,
no one cares.
Yeah, no one really cares.
Yeah.
Next one is the 3-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Braun Strowman will win now.
Yeah, Braun Strowman will probably win that. But it's good. It's good.
Who's he against?
It's going to be against Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. I'm happy that we're going to see Sami Zayn return.
He's not going to.
But wait, it's 3.
He's not going to do much.
It's 3-on-1, so that means
whoever
wins gets the title.
Yeah.
So then technically all them 3 should not be. So it should be. See,
everyone, it should be all for one.
I always say that these kind of 3-on-1 matches should be Tornado, and it should be billed as 3-on-1, but really it's a fatal 4-way.
You're looking for logic.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to team up.
Doesn't even be looking for logic. I've always said that when they do like handicap matches for a title, the idea is that what you're billing it as is a handicap match, but what it really is a triple threat match or a fatal 4-way match. Because in this match, it's like the idea is that Shinsuke, Cesaro, and Zayn are 3. They're all heels in this case, but then all 3 of them are going to want to be champions. So the idea is that you can say as much as you want. Oh yeah, as long as the team wins. but whoever gets the pinfall is going to be the champion. Do you know what I mean?
But I've seen matches like this where you're bright and it's like, say it's us and Rob goes for a pin and I pull him off. No, I won the title. But I've then seen those exact same matches where there's none of that and it's like they're genuinely happy for whoever to win.
Yeah, and they're most likely going to help.
But then that's when they're a team. So like,
and I think that's the case here because even though there's still 3 random people put together, there's so much of a team being pushed now, as in it's the Sami, Shinsuke, and Cesaro show. They're going to be on the same page. There's not going to be no animosity.
Yeah. They're gonna Cesaro and Zayn are gonna pretty much do all the heavy work or try to do the heavy work to put the title back on Nakamura.
Isn't Zayn still injured anyway?
Apparently, it must be clear for him to carry.
No, he does matches here and there. Like he's done tag matches, but he's not done. We haven't seen a Sami Zayn 1-on-1 match for ages.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's actually cleared, but it's just so unsure on him.
Yes, no,
because
actually,
the shoulder problems and stuff. That's why he just got stuck with this manager role because he's been cleared for ages, but they just don't want to take the chance.
Either way, it doesn't even matter having this discussion because Braun Strowman's winning.
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman's gonna win. And then the final match, which I assume is gonna be the main event. I don't know why.
Let's see who's actually in this match.
So it's the Elimination Women's Chamber match. Whoever wins will get a chance to face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So it's Natalya versus Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler versus Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Sarah Logan. Dead.
Okay. we could talk about it. We could talk about this possibility would be cool. I'd like this, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't see the point. We know Baszler's gonna win. Regardless of whether you want it or not, it's gonna be Baszler and Becca. I said Baszler and Becca. Screw their names, bro. I could care less. I don't care.
Keisha, Becky,
Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch will be the match at WrestleMania. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
But then the thing is, though, is that I read on the bleachers that apparently, given the feedback from the Baszler and Kairi Sane match that just happened on Raw, Vince McMahon is apparently now questioning Shayna Baszler going into WrestleMania kind of thing. And
because of what match, sorry?
So on Raw, it was meant to be Shayna Baszler versus Asuka on Raw, but I think Asuka's injured or something like that right now. So then Kairi Sane took her place. They had a regular kind of match in the start that Kairi Sane and Baszler have or whatever, because Baszler's not necessarily like an in-ring like technician, or she's a technician, but she's not like a
WWE technician.
Not even that. She's just that. But you haven't really watched many Baszler matches, have you? Like so Baszler's the thing where I've always said that I don't consider her like a wrestler and whatnot, but then she doesn't have bad matches.
Yeah.
But then weirdly enough, this match on Raw was just very kind of basic for both of them.
Yeah, and the fact is, they've actually faced each other in NXT, and it was an awesome match.
And they fought each other at Evolution as well, and that was a awesome match too.
Yeah.
So this match wasn't awesome.
It was a basic level match.
It was a typical.
And Vince is actually.
Now he's
blaming her.
Now he's questioning like Baszler, like how. But then the thing is that like I actually read a tweet. Hold on. The story about Vince feeling negative on Baszler after the Kyrie match is so him. So Baszler and Sane had great matches in NXT, but suddenly they hit the heavily agented main roster. They aren't clicking. He created the system that caused the match to fail.
Yeah,
but he hasn't explained what. Do you know what I mean? He's just blaming Vince. They had a match on Raw, and because it's on Raw, it's bad. But
then it's like so it's that thing of like,
unless he's saying how the match was put together because it's Raw was the reason.
It's like a thing of like, so you know how I've always said back in the day, or I've always just said, and I've been consistent with this. Certain things work in different places on WWE TV.
So essentially, you're saying the exact same thing that you do on NXT just doesn't work on Raw because of what Raw is overall.
Yes.
Okay.
So
fine.
So it's like a thing of like, Shayna Baszler is not necessarily a flashy superstar, and weirdly enough, like monster characters or things like that, they only have so much like steam on the main roster. Unless you're like heavily pushed as like a monster character or like a beast. Like even Nia Jax, when she was pushed as being like the beast and the monster and stuff like that, it only goes so far, and then you kind of make her lose.
Perfect example.
Yeah, and then you make them lose to like a lesser person, and it's like, well, now like where do you go from here? Then with Baszler, it's like because she's got no real flair and no real anything other than she's just a kind of an in-ring girl. Then it's like, okay, so what you work with here? The match kind of highlighted that because Kairi Sane is not necessarily. She's a person that everyone likes, and the Kabuki Warriors as a whole are people that people like. But then it's like there wasn't really there was like the match was kind of missing like a major component or anything like that. It was just missing something. But
also, isn't it heel versus heel?
Yeah.
That will also make the match way worse in terms of perception. I'm not talking about the in-ring thing, but you just aren't there for a heel versus heel the way you would with a villain versus a hero.
Right, and then it's like a thing where it's just kind of like so like I said, the match, in my opinion, it was just a basic level match. It wasn't bad, but then it's just like it just didn't really click. But then that's just me for Shayna Baszler and whatnot. I mean, I'm still here for her. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan, but I've always said that like I didn't think that she should go on the main roster. I said that she should stay in NXT because she kind of works in NXT.
Yeah, 100%.
As a character.
She was one of the definite characters that I feared if they went to if she went to the main roster, they would ruin her, and the curse still runs.
You're right.
It's definitely
NXT stars coming to the main roster and just not clicking with people.
Yeah, it's there's certain people just work certain brands and
certain crowds, certain fields, certain
so it's very worrying times because I got a feeling I'm just gonna anytime she has a match I fear that I'm gonna just switch off, and I usually don't do that with Shayna Baszler matches. So I assume that your prediction for that is also gonna be Shayna Baszler. Is everyone agreeing with that?
I said at the beginning.
You did. Oh, so my bad.
I'm not looking forward to most matches. I mean, like I said, Alistair's match will be cool. Andrade's match will be alright. Looking forward to Daniel and Drew just because it's different. Tag team elimination chamber, even though it has the potential to be clustery, it'll probably be better than.
I'm not gonna lie. The first tag team elimination chamber match that they did. Or the initial one. I never ever saw that one. But they did tell me it was a really good match. But
it was like good and bad at the same time. It was good, but it's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, but then it's weird because I found that the women's one was quite good.
The women's one was good.
Yeah. But then it's like I didn't feel like that was the first tag chamber one that I'd watched and whatnot.
Oh, the women's tag.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just the women's single. Yeah.
The women's tag one, I watched that one and I enjoyed that one. Fair enough, I didn't like the fact that again a team like of Naomi and Carmella was pieced together just for that match. But then in the same breath, I liked that match and stuff, but then I never watched the initial tag team one, so I don't know.
Elimination chambers are they have potential to be really good if done right, but then for example, like look at the Santino one. When you have wrestlers who don't really work with elimination chambers, you have to have some high flyers, you have to have some brutes that will destroy things. If you've just got genuine good wrestlers who on a normal match are great but don't fit the gimmick of an elimination chamber, then it's boring because it's almost like when you have a Hell in a Cell match and they don't really use the cell.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing. Speaking of Hell in a Cell, they need to do a 6-man Hell in a Cell. They already did that once. It was the best match. Maybe, I don't know if it worked with today's superstars, but
it could definitely happen. Yeah.
Because technically 6 bodies in a ring at the same time should fail. But it was epic.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I even liked when they did the scramble.
Do you know? I wanted to bring that back.
Those were good.
You say you used to love them. They only did it one time.
Yeah.
No, but even you could do them in the game.
Yeah.
They did it back in the day with the Hardcore Championship.
Yes.
WrestleMania 2000, I think.
Yeah, but with the Hardcore one, that was like it was just called it was, how long was it? An hour.
No.
Something like that. Or like
20 minutes or something like that. And you won the title, but then you could win it again. And then there was a countdown because I remember Taz had someone in the Taz mission, but it got to 0 before they tapped out. And they kept the Hardcore Championship. But they didn't call it the Scramble back then. This is like 2000. So
yeah. But the one that they had D. Brian Kendrick
technically won
the championship. And then I think
flipping Jericho coming down like a flipping invalid, like destroyed, and still won the thing. Like that was funny.
That was a great match. So yeah, they should definitely bring that back.
Epic. Championship scramble.
Yeah, championship scramble.
I don't know why they got rid of it.
I don't know why.
It's a 20-minute match, so it's not that long. It's a nice little concept, like all 5 people in the ring, like whoever gets the pinfall and is champion at that point becomes champion at the end of the 20 minutes.
I think overall it wasn't received well because whenever What Culture talk about it, they.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why they might have nixed it.
Really? So they didn't get good reviews?
I don't think so. I don't think it was received well on the grand scheme of fans and stuff. But I liked it. I thought
it was epic for me. I don't know.
But then I liked the Alliance storyline.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But see, back then, for me, I only knew like certain amount of the Alliance stars, but then I just became very much kind of like, okay, this is what I'm being told as a WWE guy. This is who I'm being told as an Alliance guy. I know who I'm supposed to root for. Yeah. But I didn't really care that I didn't get the Click or I didn't get the NWO. I didn't get whatever. I was fine with that without that. But then I was young.
Yeah, I mean, my point bringing it up is that I liked the storyline that most people didn't like.
Yeah,
I think that's usually the case. But anyway.
I was just gonna say, wasn't there one Elimination Chamber match where some botch happened, and you see Dolph Ziggler actually calling the match in the middle of the ring to everyone? I think someone threw someone in the pod, and then Mark Henry was basically free from his pod, and apparently that fucked up the whole match.
I remember Mark Henry's pod breaking.
And he had to stand there. He just stood there. So what's going on? I'll never forget. I think Dolph Ziggler was in that match, and apparently something happened. I can't remember. But then you actually see him in the middle, and he's actually just talking to everyone. Right? You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. You're gonna do that. And it was widely panned. I can't remember. Instead of you scrambling which one it is, I'll try to quickly find it. But yeah, other than that, guys, that is pretty much our predictions for Elimination Chamber. We are highly pumped for that pay-per-view. So as you can see from our genuine faces, yes. But roll on WrestleMania season.